totally losing my mind, but that's new to nobody, so.
Okay, here we go. What? I'm doing story. I don't know. Sure, let's play a brief tutorial.
What are the captions? I know you don't know, but like. Oh, huh?
Alright.
This is it.
Wow, look at this place.
This is not a horror
Still
game.
can't believe the deal we got.
Why was there a stealth?
Is there a subtitles?
Where's my room?
Right up there, buddy.
Criminy. Okay, 1 second. Memory subtitles. And we can make it a horror game if you like. Emerge? Why am I emerging?
I think we're a ghost.
What in the absolute... Well, the mirror isn't helping. I don't want to read the letter.
Oh, I can read that. I'll do my reading voices.
Great.
Mr. Kaplan, welcome to your home for the summer. We're very excited to have you. This is one of our most popular properties, and I'm sure you and your family will have a memorable visit. We have you booked through August 31st. Your security deposit has cleared, and our cleaning service freshened everything up on Saturday. You can buy groceries at McClendon's in town. And if you like to eat... You good? And if you like to eat dinner out, there are quite a few restaurants on the avenue, just off Fairview. If you have any questions, or if you run into any trouble at all, please don't hesitate to call. Heat Blur. Hanger Rentals, Sydney Bluffs, OR.
Oregon. Someone tell me where to fucking buy my groceries. Okay. Done choking. Look at a light fixture and press space to possess it? This is not what I thought this video game was.
No wonder there's a stealth mode.
What?
We'll be back in a little bit.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What? Your goal in each chapter is to figure out the dilemma facing Dan and decide how he should resolve the situation. Each member of the family desires a different outcome, and it's up to you to decide which path to take. If you learn the desires of more than one character, you can uncover compromises that will help the family. Sounds dumb.
Oh my god, the dilemma. How to find and bury our bounds to free our soul from this mortal coil. Oh,
Huh.
Jesus.
Is that so? You don't say. Okay. Scooby-Dooing for clues now.
We can emerge.
Dan's journal is on the
Writer's
desk.
block. I can't believe I just wrote that. Writer's block. There, again. Those two words are apparently the only damn thing I can write. I don't think it's been this bad since high school. Mr. Holder's class, an essay about Faulkner. Dan Kaplan, little-known author of Tramer's Way and Windsong, has run out of steam. Closed my eyes last night and saw a literary register article about myself. That was the first line. Paul wants 3 chapters next week, and so far I've got 2,000 words so sloppy I can barely read them. I cannot blow my schedule. Paul said Grofield's been very clear about what comes next if I keep slipping deadlines. Why did this happen as soon as we got here? This was supposed to simplify things, but so far it's been nothing but staring at a blank page. Maybe a walk will help, or a long drive, or a drink.
Hey, Dan. Each character has a number of writings or drawings to discover. You've found one of Dan's. Now that you know what's troubling him, you should search the house for him to discover more about his dilemma.
What's on the typewriter?
It won't let me interact with the typewriter.
Rude.
Oh, I'm just gonna walk around.
Well, wait, we're not in stealth mode, so... Why can't we possess the corpse?
I don't know. It'd be a heck of a lot cooler if I could drive around in the car. Can I jump? Wow, I can't even jump. It's messed up. Dan? Oh, sick. I can read his mind like some sort of criminal. If this doesn't work... The cloud around Dan's head indicates that he's remembering specific moments from the past. You have the ability to explore his memories to learn more about the current chapter. Approach Dan from behind and press space to enter his memory. Sounds like I'm about to shank this poor fella. Should I... Here. Is there a crouch option? Do I need to get my knife out? Sneak up behind Dan and press space to enter his memory. I don't know. It just seems... seems not cool. Whatever we're doing, I don't think I agree. Now that you've entered Dan's memory, you can explore it freely. Follow the sounds to locate different moments that are on his mind. When you find a specific moment, press space to uncover more about what's troubling Dan in this chapter. You can exit Dan's memory whenever you wish, and can return to it any time by approaching him from behind and pressing space. No, I know. Follow the sound to discover memories. What? Uncover this memory of whatever the fashion decision was here. I didn't stop and look at the face.
Do you think coming here will help?
Is that it?
Coming here
Oh, okay, great. That's the whole memory.
What about him?
It has to.
Okay. And then we find, like,
Is there anything downstairs?
the desecrated corpse of whoever he murdered down here.
You think they did a murder?
Wait, Dan? How are you in 2 places, bud? I don't care for that. Wait, so this is nothing.
That's rude of him.
Okay.
He's misleading you.
Truly.
It's his house.
Oh, wait.
Tommy rode into town with me today. He saw some kids his age playing on the swings at the park, and I could tell he wanted to go play with them. It got me thinking, did we swing the pendulum too far just to get him away from those bullies? Kids can bounce back quick sometimes. What if this is the worst thing we could have done? Then he asked how Daddy's book was going, and without even thinking, I said, "Great, my man." Felt awful right away. It's a white lie, sure, but why not be honest? When he was younger, he was just a bundle of physical needs, but now he's like a mental, emotional sponge. He's around Linda and me all the time, and I can see him changing every day in 1,000 small ways. That scares the hell out of me. What am I teaching him with a white lie?
It's a good question.
I don't know, Dan. When he was a baby, he was just an infant. Now he's a person. You found all the moments in this character's memory. Wow. Poor Dan. He's got, like, long-term memory loss, I guess. You can come back and re-examine them at any time, or you
This is
can
the
exit
only
and
group that
explore other
uses.
characters' memories. Hey, I feel like I feel like I got everything there is to get. I probably don't need to re-explore the 2 sentences they said and him learning that people grow up.
No, I forgot about the 2 sentences where I think we really need to.
Well, that sucks.
Dan, we're back.
Hey, Mommy. Hey, honey.
Now that Linda and Tommy are home, you should look for their clues, discover what's on their minds, and explore their memories. I hate it. If you learn what all the characters want, you can earn additional opportunities to influence their story.
I'm faster.
This is a different Victor.
Great.
Mrs. Kaplan. That wasn't bad.
No, I was just preparing in case.
I hope this reaches you before you leave for the summer. I know we went over this in my office, but I think Tommy is a wonderful child, and I'll feel better putting my recommendation in writing. Children develop at different speeds, and Tommy shows no signs of a serious learning disorder. So the most important thing is to be patient and supportive. Make sure he does his reading exercises each day in a calm, loving environment. Make sure not to show disappointment when he struggles, which he will at first. Show encouragement when he succeeds, as self-confidence is critical at this age. If he fails to make progress with the exercises I have included, you may want to take him to the local pediatrician for further recommendations. I hope this is of some help. I look forward to seeing Tommy this September. Mrs. McMillan.
I hate it.
I know you do.
Oh, here it comes with more big piano notes. Okay. Ow.
You good?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm fast.
You can always press tab to see your progress and find out what you need to do to move forward. Press W. You can press escape to view the help screen, or adjust options like your screen size, mouse sensitivity, volume, voiceover style, and more. I feel like it's a little late to...
Hey, Mommy, look at this. Wow.
Yeah, what is voiceover style? Did not notice that.
Reading voiceover?
Oh. Really? That's it? So, whether I want to hear his voice... Yeah. There are 13,000 different styles. Texan. Young Texan. Old Texan. So, it did say space read, and,
I don't think Tommy knows how to write.
Tommy's got some honkin' arms there.
Mm-hmm.
Look at... Man, those things are
It's going to be really hard to find shorts that are long enough
interesting.
to reach past his fingertips, so that they don't they don't violate the student dress code at the elementary
Hey,
school.
Dad.
Hey, Tommy.
Yeah. Hey, Tommy.
Oh, we're in the light.
Come on, get to the top of the stairs, you loser. So I can beat you up.
You know what the cloud reminds me of? When they smell really bad in The Sims. And they walk around and they have like the stink cloud.
Oh, God.
He is sad. Tommy is sad.
No, has a mustache. It's different. Okay. Oh, I see ya.
We'll have to find out.
What are we gonna have to find out?
Are there any other kids? Are
Mommy's
there any
lonely.
other kids? Are there any other kids?
Kids. This is the remix.
There's probably other kids that exist in the world.
Yeah.
We haven't seen them because we're a ghost and we're trapped here, and no other kid has ever been to this establishment.
Good chance, T-Dog.
It's like there's one bird.
Eh.
There's only one child. It said you found them all.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to teleport around real quick, but it's just making the whole thing slower. Yeah, play with the cars. But as an elderly Texan.
Oh, so the other children were all murdered. That's
Wild.
Mother. Hello, Mother.
Okay.
I think we've done a good job of putting on happy faces for Tommy.
Uh-oh.
If he knows there's something wrong, he's not showing it. We told him this is just a fun family vacation, and he seems to like it here so far. But this might be it for Dan and me. Neither one of us has said the word yet, but I know it's right there under the surface. We've been dancing around it. I can't even bring myself to write the word here. Writing it would be almost as bad as saying it, because once it's there, it becomes real, a thing we have to deal with. I'm not ready for that yet. We agreed to make this a fresh start. I meant it, I think he did too. Now we just have to treat each day like a new beginning.
She sounded bored by being alive.
Yeah, the voice actor really captured the defeated, emotionless state she's in. Probably because she's sitting here watching her husband have an affair. Like, Jesus, Dan.
Me too.
Me too.
I promise.
Me too.
I promise.
Me too.
I promise.
Me
This is
too.
the remix. Okay.
Maybe something upstairs.
Probably. It's the child's bedroom with an ensuite bathroom. Like, what the hell?
There's no more sounds. So like, where?
Yeah. Okay, maybe that's just it.
Maybe the kitchen?
Wow. Can't believe you think she belongs in the kitchen.
I don't know. Go take a bath.
Okay. Hey, D-Man. Oh, no, it's just the same ones. Okay. So how do I... Oh.
Paul, good to hear from you. Listen, things are taking a little longer than expected. I feel good about this one, but I haven't quite brought some of the threads together. It's just an execution hiccup, not a lack of ideas. This is the most complicated book I've ever tried to write, and let's just say I have a newfound respect for guys like Dickens and Joyce who can juggle 10 threads at once without getting lost. I'm figuring some of this stuff out the hard way, I guess you could say. Anyway, the outline I sent you is still good, those are still the beats, those are still the themes I plan to explore. I'll keep you posted, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Sarah's right.
Oh. Pick up more canvases. Art store anywhere in town? Galleries or studios? Ooh, Linda, one of 3 clues found. So now there's clues and memories? Good lord. This is too much game. I would rather if this were...
I'm just upset that we can't litter.
more obvious. Like, a good game like Madden NFL 2K5. Maybe she left something in here also. Ooh.
It's such a crazy thought, the 3 of us all alone in this house all summer. I never thought we could afford a place like this, but the price surprised us both when we saw it. I wonder if there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, it's haunted.
Maybe it has a raccoon problem or a toilet that backs up.
Are we a
Guess we'll
raccoon?
find out soon.
The ghost of a
When
raccoon?
I'm painting again.
I don't think the
I got
ghost of a
fed up
raccoon
today.
would be
I
in
felt
the
a buzz
bikes.
right away. So much time to work. I haven't had
Hey,
a space like
you don't
this
know
in
what a
forever, probably
ghost
since I
raccoon
left
can
the
do.
studio. I went straight into a new piece today, got lost, looked up to see it was 2 hours later. I think this new one has promise, though I still have some
Double
lists to
C,
check
double O.
off. Speaking of which, I'm gonna go check on Dan and see if his new office is doing anything
I
for
like-
him. He's pretty frustrated, but he has to
Sexually?
figure something out soon, or this place won't
I
be any
mean,
different
I
from
don't
home.
know.
Like if his office is
That
doing
on the
anything
wall.
for him? Yeah. Oh, Dan.
Tommy is smiling though because he got to hang out with his dad and his dad paid attention to him.
Hello.
Hello, child.
Anything new? Oh, did it?
Here we go.
Come on, Linda. Oh, now she's holding something.
He went into her memories at a different button for reading thoughts. No.
Oh. We could have a bottle of wine and hang out like we used to. Okay. Okay.
Do you want to destroy their marriage?
You're a bad person. Holy shit.
I thought you knew that.
Me and Daddy can play Racing Roger. Okay.
I want to do the best thing for Tommy. Tommy doesn't deserve unhappiness. He's a child.
No, I don't. God, every time. Okay. Read thoughts. Where's my notebook? Alright.
Meow.
We got lots of stuff. Well, there's the wine. Oh.
Tommy wants to play a board game.
Oh, Tommy. Where's the board game?
Who's upstairs in his bedroom.
Meow.
Screw it. Let's play the game. Great. I need to whisper to Dan in his sleep now, so that's good. By learning the desires of more than one character, you've earned the ability to find a compromise with one family member you didn't choose in the previous chapter. Cool.
From the desk of Harold Baxter, January 15th, 1948. Mr. Lowry... What?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Lowry finally gave in and agreed to let me inspect the house. I believe he simply grew tired of hearing me ask, although I think deep down he knows I'm correct. A property like this simply doesn't change hands every year or two without a reason.
Which is the ghost raccoon.
Yes. I noticed the pattern when I was cleaning out old files, and this house kept coming up. It's changed owners 7 times in the last 13 years. I began digging, and not a single one of the sales was financially motivated. People just seem to keep deciding that they'd rather live somewhere else. Which doesn't add up in my mind. The view is striking. The isolation and privacy alone make it a great property. The remoteness can't be an issue. Certainly no one who can afford this kind of home needs to work for money. It's a mystery, but that's why I'm here.
It's not a mystery, it's a raccoon's ghost.
Yep. Ooh, the blender.
Yep. Sure is a blender. Wait, so can I just go select Dan's thing now? Her thing?
Yeah, her thing was wine.
Wow, that face. Oh, hello. Oh, that's his notebook. Okay.
From the desk of Harold Baxter, January 16th, 1948. Standing in the kitchen drinking coffee and admiring the view. I simply don't understand it. Who wouldn't want to see this every morning? That appears to be the great question of 451 Timberline Road. I slept very well last night. It's a good thing the previous owners left the house furnished. It was just about as quiet as anywhere I've ever been. The only sounds today are the ocean and a few birds. After I finish breakfast, I plan to begin my inspection. Later, I was inspecting the upstairs walkway to make sure that the railing was sturdy when I saw something odd downstairs. I'm not certain I can describe what it was, and I've already talked myself halfway out of thinking it was anything at all. It was probably just a trick of the light coming through those big windows.
It was a
The raccoon
raccoon's
ghost.
ghost. Okay. Okay.
So now we've selected a compromise between the two. Between Tommy and Linda.
Anne and Linda.
We didn't select the notebook.
How is selecting the wine a compromise between Linda and her child?
I don't know.
I had to select between Dan and Linda.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I did not like that. Dan couldn't stop thinking about how important it was to start the summer off on a good foot with Tommy, who was ecstatic when Dan knocked off early and set up a game of Racing Roger on the coffee table. They laughed and played for 2 hours, and Dan made sure to let Tommy win most of the time. It was a happy start to Tommy's summer. The next night, Linda decided to have the bottle of wine herself after giving up hope that Dan would take the night off for them to catch up. She was a glass and a half into the bottle when he surprised her by coming down to help her finish it. And though they didn't get a whole night after together, it was too fast for me. Dan couldn't get past his writer's block. He laid awake for 3 nights trying to think of a way out of his jam, but he couldn't come up with one. He had to stay on schedule, so he forced himself to write a scene just to keep moving. He hated each word as he typed it, but he had no choice.
Oh, I hate that. I mean, Tommy exists, so he had to at some point. Oh, cool, full house! I want to be Danny Tanner. No, Uncle Jesse.
A friend of Dan's was coming
To
visit.
visit, but... What? Why? Okay.
Ooh, a note. Guy, probably not expecting to hear from me, were ya? You know I'm all about surprises. Look, we're gonna head up the coast next weekend. We're doing the drive from LA to Seattle. I have an interview up there on Tuesday, and Kelly has a friend who's gonna introduce her to some casting people from Vancouver. Ooh, Canada. Can we come to your place on the way up? We should be pulling through next Friday. I was thinking we could use it as an excuse to jam on our books. I want to see your new stuff, and I have a draft I want you to take a look at. I'm way beyond knowing what's good or not with my work, so I could really use your advice. And you know I'll give it to you straight about your new book. Is there a title yet? It could be an impromptu writer's workshop, I guess. Anyway, I think it'd be fun. Let me know.
My progress is saved automatically. Wow, thanks.
Autosave. This is a horror game.
Yeah, I'm gonna reply to that letter and tell that guy that I hate him now, and he can't come over.
Do you want me to read it?
I mean, you've been reading anything else.
Honey, I'm sorry it's been so long since my last letter, but we've been all over the place. Have you gotten settled into that big house yet? I hope getting away from everything has been a help for you and Dan. I'm writing because, speaking of getting away, your father and I are going to take a road trip. I found some good AARP deals, and with your father only working part-time, it wasn't very hard to arrange time off. It's been too long since our last trip. I've always enjoyed changes of scenery, and as you're hopefully learning, it can be just the thing a marriage needs. Lord knows it's helped us. The trip won't take us close enough to the shore to come visit, I'm sorry to say, and if you write back, we'll be gone before your letter arrives. We'll call if one of our motels has long distance, but if we don't get a chance to call, send my love to Dan and Thomas. You know your father, and I want the best for you all. Love, Mom.
Okay, Mom. You loser. You fucking call me because you don't have a long distance. Oh wow, Thomas made a friend.
Why can't we leave the house?
You nerds.
Check so far. Call Chamber of Commerce, hotels in town. Double check T&K trip when Dan gets back.
Okay.
Davey can bring. Whoa, his friend has a jet? Like a personal jet? A private personal jet aeroplane? It's crazy.
Check out the window.
Sure is outside.
Ooh, the kitchen.
Can Davy sleep over?
No,
Let me
Davey
call his
sucks.
mom.
Oh. Well. That's not where I thought that was going. I thought then his mom was gonna like elbow him in the mouth and he was gonna start bleeding real hard. Okay. So, T-Dog, you've been working on that exact same crayon drawing for a while. Cool. He's a rich friend, and he can't come over because I really hate his stupid little guts.
Jeez.
Then she slaps Tommy in the face and breaks his nose. Oh, you put the shoes on.
How dare he put the shoes away?
Take a bath. This is ridiculous. Ooh, a magazine. The Literary Register with Austin Powers on the cover. Okay. Did I miss something down here?
I don't think so. I think it's just...
Okay.
Hey, Mommy. Hey, Pumpkin.
He has a name, Linda. Man, that drawing came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, the mother got up.
Linda, come back. Oh no. Oh. Okay. Jesus.
I'm checking to see if this is a fold out.
I thought Tommy was sleeping with us.
I'm checking to see if this is a fold out.
Wow, thanks for that. 1/10 of a conversation game. But Tommy has his own bed. What's going on? Oh, right, the visiting people.
I knew we should have eaten something with the wine last night. My head is killing me. It would have been worse if Dan hadn't come down to help me finish it, though. I didn't expect to see him, but he does have a way of surprising people. I wish we'd had a full night together, but maybe we can do that soon. I'm glad we got even a little time to catch up. We only got through the first side of the record, but we talked about the studio and my new painting, which was nice. It's good to know he's at least trying.
Why are we saying these things in my Christian Twitch chat?
I think we got everything. Why can't we even have a bath? We want to have bath. Why can't we have a bath? Why no bath?
Okay, now we need to read thoughts. Wash that ugly sweater they gave her so they can see her wearing it. What? But they're not. How are they going to see her wearing it?
Yeah.
We live in a world where people are still sending each other letters.
And they said they couldn't come anyway.
They can't take photos.
Hey, Mommy.
Hey, honey.
Stop talking to your mom.
He's lonely.
Wait, I didn't get. Is there another? Did he leave the drawing out here? No, because I didn't have the opportunity to read his thoughts for a thing yet. Same drawing, good stuff.
Did we already do his memories?
I genuinely just explicitly explained why I am back in here.
Oh, right. Okay, never mind.
There wasn't even a separate idea between my explaining that and going back into his memory. That being said, I don't see anything that's going to help me, so it's pointless.
Maybe
Ooh, I hear them keys a clacking, boy.
Want to grab a
Let's
bite later?
get it.
Yeah, let's do it. I took Tynan up on the book jam. He hasn't seen a word of my new book, and fresh eyes are priceless. He bailed me
Tynan?
out on Tramer's Way. I hope he understands how much of that book worked because of him. I still remember when we were walking to the pond, and he had the idea about using newspaper clips and police reports. Of course, no matter how many times I tell interviewers it was his idea, they just keep giving me the credit. Maybe they just want the tidy auteur version. Oh well, can't change that. Let's just hope he has an idea for this one too. Freddy can't get here soon enough.
So, developer of the Novelist, what you're telling me is that you named your three main characters Dan, Linda, and Tommy, and then the fourth character you introduce with a name is Tynan. Yeah, we should probably let Dan have his way, or he's gonna go postal and kill the other two, so.
Uh-oh.
They're reading in bed? Try it
They're-
sometime.
Reading in bed.
What about Tommy?
Yes. Okay. See, what you're meant to do
What about Tommy?
He can sleep with us.
is that. But
He can sleep with us.
What about Tommy?
Different meaning in that order.
So when we're having our open marriage threesome, what's Tommy gonna be up to? Shit.
Tommy is gonna lose his bed because of Geist.
Well, Geist is the German, but it is Ghost again. Just
Writer's block turned into writer's fog or something like that. I never found my notebook. I guess it's just gone. Did we lose it in the move? Leave it at home? I ended up having Alice find out about Scott and Sarah by overhearing a phone call. It's awful. Having Alice eavesdrop on them completely kills the sympathy I've been trying to build for her. What a junk solution. But I had to get something down and move on. I guess that was it. Hopefully I can come back and fix it later.
Excuse me.
okay. Now I need to convince the game to let me read his thoughts. Check those fishing poles. Maybe we could find a pond. Okay, that sounds fun.
Good news. Mom called today with a change of plans. They made better time on the first leg of the trip than they expected, and they're coming to visit. Bad news, they want to come this weekend. Did Dan tell Tynan they could stay here for sure, or is that still up in the air? I'll ask after dinner. She sounded cheerful enough on the phone, though I can't help wondering if they took this trip because they hit another rough patch. I hope not. I hope they just want to see Tommy and have a classic Mears family feast, though maybe seeing how they've ended up will be good perspective for Dan and me. Speaking of which, Dad better not get nosy. I've told him 1,000,000 times that my marriage is not his business. Maybe I'll try the thing Christine told me. When someone asks you something private, just say, "Why do you ask?" Put it back on them and see if they've actually got a reason to get into your business.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I've got to remember to try that. We'll see how he answers that one.
So Linda wants murder. Tommy wants his friend to come over. And Dan wants, he wants fish for dinner. I don't see why those have to be, like, mutually exclusive, all three of them. I don't see why they can't just have all of them.
Mm-hmm.
No, Dan wants to have fish for dinner. Your own bed. Oh. Are you yelling at the transphobic people again?
Yes.
Good job.
Bring your own bed. We're running short. Oh! Oh, right. Sorry. I mean, the sweater's right there. Linda, you can do what you want with it.
What are we gonna pick?
I think we should, again, let Dan do his thing, because otherwise he's probably gonna get a gun, and stuff ain't gonna be good. Oh, right. I haven't found Tommy's desired outcome, though.
Try the car, because he wanted his friend to play with
Right,
the car.
he did say the car thing. There's...
This car's gone.
Where'd your car go, T-Dog?
Is it maybe downstairs in the painting room?
Maybe.
Ooh, is it the picture there?
We've already looked at the picture.
Right.
Search the house for more clues. Gee dang it, folks. It's your game.
Huh.
They look so happy.
They look like death is mercy. You know?
Please kill us. Okay, is there something in the memories that I... Did he, like, take a huge dump and he's embarrassed? Huh? Okay. We saw this.
Let me call his mommy.
Can Davy sleep over?
I see the ghost here is actually the ghost of a marriage counselor, so that's why we're doing what we're doing, I think.
It wouldn't be one of the other toys, right?
That's, again, like, if I could interact with something, it would come up.
True.
Tommy! Is it this toilet? Out that window. Okay.
Ooh, maybe that toilet?
Oh yeah, you're right, I didn't check
Mm.
that. Dan's shoes? Does Tommy not own shoes, so he's jealous? Or his sweater? I don't understand, video game. Does he really just love Austin Powers? Video game?
Maybe you just couldn't interact with the toys because you were in the memory.
Okay, wait. Come on. Stay up late. Hey. Racing Roger was so fun. I won.
Wow, good job, kiddo. Is it maybe the TV?
Maybe. Clickety clackety. No.
It'll be a little crowded.
I'm
Isn't-
faster.
Tommy, I was gonna give you the compromise on this one. But oh. There we go. It was the drawing that wasn't there before. Alright. Let's find this boy and read his mind. Stop. Okay. Blue sheets for a self-report. Sick. Let's do this.
Don't forget we can find out things about the house too.
That's true. By a raccoon.
On the desk of Harold Baxter, January 19th, 1948. I failed to log my activities yesterday, as nothing of note occurred. There have been no tricks of the light for 2 days, and I've grown certain that the ones I saw were reflections from the ocean, improbably reaching the house. I've been able to focus on the task at hand. It says task and hand, but it's task at hand, and I'm suitably pleased with the condition of the property. I have also reached a decision on how to proceed. It came to be this morning as I stood in the conservatory admiring the beauty of the forest. I hadn't begun my work yet, and was thinking of nothing in particular, when an idea came into my head fully formed. I was surprised that it appeared with such clarity, but it's not unheard of for the mind to ponder questions in the subconscious. As for the idea, it is quite simple. I will buy the house myself.
Okay. Wash it twice, bud. Okay. Maybe there's something downstairs. Something on the coffee table. You're right.
From the desk of Harold Baxter, January 17th, 1948. I'm now certain there's something strange with the light here. It must be those windows. I was reviewing old deeds in the living area and saw some sort of flash of light out of the corner of my eye. I would assume the elevation would put the ocean too far away for the sun to reflect off a wave, but perhaps not. I looked, but there was nothing there except a strange shimmer, like heat above the asphalt of a hot road. It dissipated almost immediately. Perhaps some concentration of the light caused it. But on to work. I've begun cataloging possible options for the property. I owe Mr. Lowry a report on by the 24th. Things about the house. Haunted. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
We need to find the blue sheets. If you decided to go with Tommy, that is. Show him your rocket.
I hate it. Thanks. I hate that.
Do you want to read this? Because it's going to be too fast for me.
Apparently. Dan was too excited about getting Tynan's feedback to cancel the visit. He found that the fishing poles were in great shape, and he and his friend hit it off like they'd seen each other yesterday. Linda told them where they could find a small pond in the woods, and their trip paid off, not only in fresh fish for dinner, but new ideas for their books as well.
Thank you.
Dan knew how important it was for Tommy to play with friends his age, so he grabbed the sheets and gave Tommy a few tips on the finer points of structural engineering and sofa fort construction. The extra house guests meant the boys had to keep the noise down and play quietly, which put a damper on some of their fun. Linda didn't get to wear her sweater. Linda never thought she'd be upset about not wearing the hideous sweater her parents had given her last Christmas, but she found herself eyeing it sadly. When her mother called and Linda had to break the news, she heard a hitch in her mother's voice that worried her. She tried to find out if her parents were okay, but her mother made a comment about how much the long-distance call cost and cut the conversation short. The sweater was right there. I'm sorry, but realistically, the sheets were also right there, and the fishing rods were right there. The bottle, jeez. Linda and Tommy were getting...
Ooh.
Assembly time, approximately 3 hours. Required tools: Phillips screwdriver, soft-faced hammer, half-inch wrench, socket recommended, and 7/64 inch hex key. Sure.
That is a very weird ratio.
Trash bags, aspirin, salad dressing, beer,
Eggs.
popcorn, ogburn, bread. I do like that we put whiskey above bread.
Hey, Mommy.
Oh, this just in, if you block a super straight on Twitter, they will F12 on the page where it shows that they're blocked and put in funny words. Because apparently by blocking them, because I'm just tired of listening to their bullshit, I, quote, ran behind my block wall and cried. Oh, if you hit F12, you can get into developer options, so, like, you can actually change text on a web page.
It's very cool.
Barb, I know I wrote yesterday, but I need your advice. I think Dan's drinking too much. And before you start to worry, let me say he's not an alcoholic. It's just because of the pressure he's under trying to finish the book. But you know Dan's never exactly been a health nut. He isn't gaining weight yet, though even that's just because alcohol kills his appetite. So he's hardly eating at night, which is another problem altogether. I don't think he sees what he's doing to himself, and I don't know how to break through to him about this. Sometimes I just want to say it's not like I have to get drunk to paint, but I know that's not the most mature way to handle it. Sorry for dumping all this on you. I just wanted to get it off my chest. Do you have any advice about how to talk to him? Yours, Linda.
He's not an alcoholic, but he's drinking too much and he doesn't eat because of the alcohol. But he's not an alcoholic.
Not an alcoholic.
He's just a problem drinker.
It's not done yet.
Daddy.
My man.
My man. They're very stinky standards.
Oh yeah, this is an American game. We're in, like, Oregon.
Why don't you stop at 2?
I'm fine.
Is that supposed to be alcohol?
Yeah.
I thought
It's
it was like
a bottle of whiskey.
ketchup. Or like that weird ranch ketchup that we keep seeing at the grocery stores.
Dan's drinking jam. Marmalade, thank you. He's sophisticated.
Mom tried to hide it, but I can tell when she's disappointed. I hate that they couldn't come, especially after they tried so hard to make time. Maybe if she'd called before they changed plans, it would have gone smoother. It's impossible not to think about the rough patches Mom and Dad hit without thinking about Dan and me. I should bring that up to him and see what he says. He's mentioned their history before. I'd love to hear his answer when I make the comparison. Can he talk his way out of that one?
Jeez.
It's a little bit, snide.
I mean, maybe she's right to worry though, because the man's drinking jam.
Well, you know, he, like, blended a little bit. The Literary Register, May edition. Inside, the Books of Summer, Adam Squires, The Interview, America's top small-run publishers. Wow. Crucial lore right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
The house drawing.
Yes. The house drawing.
It's cute.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Okay. So. Another drawing. Oof! 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 The bottle's on the desk now.
There's a paper.
We read that. That's the thing where she says he's not an alcoholic, he just drinks too much.
Oh.
Hey, bud. What you doing? I'm inside the brain now.
But he promised.
If he doesn't do it, I'll help you, honey. If he doesn't do it, I'll help you.
Wait, did I cause this by allowing him to go fishing?
Maybe.
Turned him into an alcoholic?
Maybe.
That same drawing that you've been working on for, seems like years at this point. And now there's nothing in here.
No need to read his thoughts.
Except,
Here we go.
nope. Yoicks. Is Daddy too sad to put together my car? Yeah, Dad? Alcoholic?
Hey, honey, how's
Why do they sit on the floor when they have so many couches?
Tynan and Kelly left this morning. I wish they could have stayed a little longer, but it was great having them. It felt just like college again. Fishing, having a few beers, talking about how we're going to conquer the world. Working through some issues on his book even gave me an idea for how to fix the logjam in Act 2. Funny how creativity works sometimes. I've got to remember to put him in the acknowledgments.
Oh god, what are we about to see?
Really? That's the whole thing? That'll be coming out on Spotify shortly. Who's Paul? Oh, he's editor. That's right.
Alan, hey man, this is gonna sound odd,
Definitely.
but I could use some advice. I'm in hot water here because, well, I've been drinking more lately. Man, there's just no good way to write that. I mean, I used to drink and write all the time in school. You remember that, right? I guess I got away from it when we got married and definitely after Tommy came along. But he's in bed by 8:30 every night now. And let me be clear, I'm not blacking out or driving drunk. You know I'd never do something like that. I just have a few drinks while I'm working, safe and sound in the house. A writer who drinks isn't exactly unheard of. Wow, could I sound more defensive? But here's the hell of it. It's working. It's brought back that college hunger, that energy, and in the last week or two, the book's just singing. I don't even know what I'm asking here. Maybe I just wanted to start the conversation. If you get a chance, give me a call. Dan.
going?
Write drunk, edit sober. Apparently Hemingway said that. Or maybe someone else did. It doesn't matter because it's true.
Steal his alcohol.
Right, you have to be fearless. You have to make choices and plow forward. Surprise the
Eat
reader.
notice.
Surprise yourself. Make something that matters, not something safe. What does drinking do? It suppresses inhibitions. Yeah, there are typos, but that's what copy editors are for, and it's not like I'm drinking all day. I'm fixing most of this stuff myself each morning. Or early afternoon, I guess. I'm not stumbling around drunk all day and pissing myself. I'm trying
Exactly,
to
and that's the
something
only
they'll remember me by.
time
No
alcohol is a
stress why it
problem.
unless they've tried it. The pressure's so bad,
Is
I just
there's
want
a
to give up
constant
something.
stream of
Most
urine.
nights a drink is the only way to turn my mind off and get some sleep. When the book is done, I'll dial it back.
Sure. Oh?
Ooh.
If he uses that Hemingway quote one more time, pretty much every night he's either super focused on his novel or too drunk for us to spend a regular night together. That used to be our time. We would put Tommy down for the night, have
Put
a
him
glass
down?
of wine, 2 at the most, and talk about our days.
Like
or
a
maybe listen
fucking
to a record.
dog.
Now I'm lucky to get one night.
We
a
would
week where
murder
he's sitting without
Tommy.
Writing. Most nights he has a bourbon. No, wait. Make that 4. And I read in bed until I fall asleep. He tries not to wake me up when he comes in, but you're never as quiet and graceful as you think you are when you're drunk, and in a dark room, no less. Of course I want his book to be great, but I also want my husband back.
Yeah, so Tommy's actually a series of clones.
Alright, how do I do
Oh.
this?
Yeah, because they keep having to kill Tommy. I feel like this box could sit flat, no problem. What's holding it up?
Determination.
I say,
Pumpkin. Hi, Mom.
I would have said communism. This game's just giving me sadness.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Dan's other thing?
It was like.
Oh, no, I... Okay. But there's yeah, there's no sound in here. So whatever it is, it's in the non-memory world. I've already looked at the instructions for that. Secret Facebook
Jax.
message. Or a bourbon and work on the apartment some.
So we got all.
Scene. That makes more sense. I swear I'm literate sometimes.
So, kid wants the car, dad wants a drink. What does the mom want?
Oh, we already got Tommy's thing. Sorry. There we go. Alright. I was thinking of Dan. That's who I needed. And I already had the ability. So
We just need to read Linda's thoughts now.
Dan wants to drink. Oh, shoes!
My man.
What's up?
Okay, so what are we gonna pick?
I mean, I think we have to pick the shoes. We've wanted to interact with the shoes for so long.
I guess, yeah.
And we haven't given Mom anything. She deserves these shoes. Boom. Shoes selected. And then we'll compromise with Dan by allowing him to inject a liter of heroin or so.
Okay.
We wanted notebook.
From the desk of Harold Baxter, January 22nd, 1948. A final entry before I depart. The bank would no doubt prevent me from purchasing the house due to the inherent conflict of interest, but given its history of frequent ownership changes, I feel confident the mortgage department will be glad to have the property off their hands. I believe I can set up a trust, or perhaps a shell company, and convince Mr. Lowry that we must part with the property for less than market value. I feel certain I can appeal to his conservative nature. I believe it will prove to be a shrewd investment as a rental property, and I think I now understand why people do not stay for extended periods. I find myself unable to describe the feeling precisely, but in my time here I have found my mind drifting in strange ways, as if it was not always my own. But the natural beauty is undeniable. Perhaps shorter visits are a wiser use of the property. Yes, I believe that is a fine idea indeed.
Right. Okay. Let me just check something real quick. Is there like a text speed that I'm not noticing? No. Great. His hair was all funny, bud. Good job. This is my ghost raccoon's house. Don't you forget it, Keenan and Kel, or whatever your name was. Oh, see, here's the thing.
The Diary of Claire Bradford, September 4th, 1961. We're here. So why don't I feel more excited? This was supposed to be fun, just Roger and me. Mom and Dad think we're with Ben and Lori, but of course that was just a trick. Nope, just Roger and me in this big house by the ocean for the whole week. I'm sad to see that there's no piano here. Hold on, there's no piano? Then where's the music coming from? But I suppose a week without practice won't do me too much harm. I guess maybe being alone with Roger that long is what's making me feel nervous. Though why should that be? He's my fiancé, after all. If I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with him, I shouldn't be worried about spending the week with him, should I? Everyone has second thoughts before they get married, right?
It's Roger of Racing Roger, and the piano is also a ghost.
Okay.
Let's get that car put together for my guy.
Yeah, we're not letting Dan,
Just a pound of heroin.
Do you want coffee?
Always.
I'm gonna make some coffee.
Okay, well then I won't select the car until...
Will you, entertain?
Can you get Catherine a water?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Can you, get me a water also while you're...
Sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yes? I don't think we have cold coffee, is it not? Destroy the car. Well, it's already halfway there, fella. Oh! I don't care in that case. Let's see here. Let's see. What's going on in the oh god, oh god.
Oh god, what?
Okay, I don't know the rest of the context of this, but so there are three. For some reason, I'm still against my better judgment. Subscribe to the Dunder Mifflin subreddit on Reddit subreddit, you know. And I really should just like unsubscribe because the entire subreddit is just like the stupidest thing. It's just like 99% of the subreddit is people realizing something that is just painfully obvious on their 9th watch or something. It's like, it gets to the point where people are like, did anyone else realize Jim was white? Or more seriously, they just beat super, super dead jokes into the ground until they're not even jokes anymore. Like, there's the episode where Randall Park cameos and like they prank Dwight by convincing him that Jim has been Asian this whole time. And now anything Randall Park's in, a screenshot will get posted to our Dunder Mifflin. They're like, OMG, Jim is in whatever. Cool to see John Krasinski in whatever. It's just like, it's annoying. I used to have a list of just like all the stupid things that would be said on there that like, you know, I'm not trying to gatekeep being a fan of The Office, but sometimes it's like, yes, I did notice that Michael has like more hair in season 2. Good job. So anyway, I just happened to open Reddit and there's 3 posts from like half an hour ago. Oh no. And they're called Attempted Mansplaining Part 1, 2, and 3. So I opened one just to see what was going on. And I don't even care about what's going on here necessarily. I see it's primarily like this weird anti-Pam thing that I'm sure internet losers, you know, they just need to hate a woman. But, you know, I read a couple of comments and just it's fun how a typo just changes everything. Saw somebody say Pam was a not very nice word for a woman to him. Like, bruh, can we just appreciate how great Michael is and not say false stuff about other characters? Pam really was a not nice word, though. If you look at her behavior throughout the series. So the original person then replies, must have watched the show on a hell of a lot of LCD, bruh. I did watch the show on a liquid crystal display, thanks for noticing. God. Oh, God. Also, these are, I think, Instagram comments or maybe comments on a Facebook photo. Like, I don't know. I don't understand the world. Social media is a curse.
Say that again.
If you aren't posting cool Dragon Ball Z pictures on social media, then I don't care about you. And I know everybody watching right now and everybody in this apartment is, in fact, posting cool Dragon Ball Z pictures on social media. Speaking of which, man, nothing is sacred, huh? Like, you open the Dragon Ball Z subreddit and you just got, like, dripping wet Vegeta and thick-ass Trunks. Can we not sexualize these characters for even 2 seconds? Please? Goku doesn't even know what kissing is. Dragon Ball is not a sexual anime. Well, Dragon Ball is. But after Dragon Ball. Goku's a grandpa and he doesn't know what kissing is, and that's what I want for myself. No. Charlotte, did you get Catherine her water?
Not yet. Here.
Oh, did you go with the urine dispenser?
What?
The coffee urinator.
Yes. Nice. Thank you. Catherine, I'll get you your water in a second. Here you go. Have this.
Oh no.
Some of this.
That's not water.
I'm sharing. It doesn't matter what it is.
Look at this grilled cheese. Look how much they burned it. They done burned it so bad. It's totally charred. That's a horrible thing to do to a grilled cheese. I've never felt so good about my ability to cook. Uh-oh, something happened out in the kitchen that made somebody do a groan. And I'm in here, so it wasn't me. Unbelievably, it took until yesterday when I absolutely had to go to Costco to get coffee, so I didn't feel the anxiety of potentially running out of coffee. It took until yesterday for me to actually witness a person in public being told to wear a mask by an employee of an establishment, so
There were 150 new cases today, though, which is an all-time record for Nova Scotia. Oh, fuck. Should go back far.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like, there's a huge test backlog.
True. So it's not all necessarily from today, it's just what they tested today.
Those numbers aren't indicative of, well, it would have been from yesterday. They can't report today's number before the tests happen.
That's fair.
Um,
That does make sense.
it's not indicative of like a 1 day jump where it more than doubled since yesterday or whatever. What it is indicative that like for, I think it's a week of backlog or 3 days or something, which is a huge gap. It was 45,000 tests, so like, and I don't know if those are just PCR tests or if those include the rapid ones. Yeah, like I think on the one hand, that tactic sort of allows like anti-maskers and people who believe it isn't a big deal to be like, see, we're in lockdown. We've been in lockdown for X amount of days now, and the cases just exploded. So obviously lockdown doesn't work. Open up the whole world, which you already see all over Facebook and Twitter anyway.
Right, but like, they would just find something else.
Oh, yeah.
If it wasn't this, they would find something else to complain about. Because they're stupid, and you can't just, like, you can't fix stupid.
That's the issue with everybody on the internet, including myself. We all just want something to complain about. I just pick things that aren't, like, you know, vilifying people who don't deserve it.
You vilify people who do deserve it.
Hmm.
Like anti-maskers and transphobes.
Mm-hmm.
My good person.
Ooh. Okay. I'll wait for Catherine to come back then. Can't miss that sick lore, you know?
Yeah, sure. It'd be a shame.
It would be a shame.
I need the coffee because unless I'm, like, actively partying, I cannot drink coffee. It puts me the fuck to sleep. Like, I made it halfway through. Not even halfway through that mix hard, and I can't do it.
Nerd.
Can't do it. Would you like it?
Yeah, I'll finish it for you.
Thank you.
Oh, also, I ate both McDonald's and Wendy's fries yesterday at the same time as part of the same meal, so just in case you haven't called the police in a while and you feel like doing so.
You're funny. Funny.
Man, I'm as pro like tattoos of Pokemon or whatever as the next guy, but this
That's
Umbreon
weird.
is ruined for me.
Send it to the, like, screenshot it and send it.
Yeah. It's just like the Disney version of Umbreon.
It's also, like, weirdly reminiscent of My Little Pony.
It truly is.
I did not show you the kitties.
Ha ha ha. Where's the mean one?
Oh, the mean one was licking Kendra all over her face.
I love that for her. Great.
It's kisses!
I bet.
She give kisses!
Uh-huh. Why is it blue? I don't know. I don't know why it's blue.
Also, Sarah asked you which fry was better.
Oh, which fry is better? Ooh. Okay, so here's a hot take. Wendy's are probably the best.
I didn't have any, I don't remember, so.
Like, also, by the time I got to the McDonald's ones, they were kind of cold. Or are you back from hot chocolate making?
Yeah, we were shit-talking you in your absence, sorry.
That's not true.
Yeah, I lied, sorry, we weren't shit-talking you in your absence.
Oh, wait. Wait. Is this something my sister sent me? I think it is. And I think it's something that's so cursed that...
I love cursed things.
I just need to see if I've already shared it with the class.
It is important to share with the class.
I don't think I shared it with the class, but wow, some of the things I've shared with the class are wild.
Interesting, for sure.
Oh, okay, just 1 second. I'm gonna share this with the class and then we'll move along. Again, like, I do... It's not quite as cursed, but the things my sister and I send back and forth are pretty bad.
You do show me most of them, so, like, I thank you for that.
More. Forward. There. Okay.
You send it?
Yes. Alright.
Wow, good job.
Select the pedal car.
Write this. You did send that to me.
Now I have to go whisper to Dan. I forgot about that. We could have been lurking over a sleeping man this whole time. Why didn't I lurk over the sleeping man the whole time?
I don't know.
Why do I keep holding shift? There's no run. Let's lurk over the sleeping man for just a second. See? It's all blood. Not good. Yeah, let's give him a little kiss. Let's get right in there. Those faces, man. After talking with Linda, Dan realized how much his habit was hurting their relationship and his health. He started jogging every morning and quickly found the runner's high wasn't a myth. Within a week, he was setting an alarm to get up early so he could run on the beach before breakfast, and while he sometimes missed the raw energy of reckless riding, he would have missed his nights with Linda even more. Wow, we fixed alcoholism. Sick. When Dan still hadn't put the pedal car together, Linda stepped in and began working on it with Tommy. Dan heard them, felt a pang of shame about his regular hangovers, and came down to join in. They completed the project as a family, and although Tommy was hurt that it had taken so long for his father to help, he was happy to finally have his toy. Wow, fellas, we really did just remove alcoholism from the equation. Dan put all of the alcohol back in the kitchen cabinet and promised to stay dry on work days, but he had a hard time focusing while he adjusted to writing sober again. He spent a couple of evenings staring at a blank piece of paper, and he never told anyone how hard it was not to sneak down to the kitchen for a drink those first few nights.
I kinda don't feel bad for him.
Like, wowza, that was a chapter. And that's how the Kaplan's first month at the house on the cliff came to an end. Dan sent what he had so far to Paul. It went badly. Dan knew the work wasn't very good, and Paul echoed that judgment. He promised to keep the news from Grovefield for the time being, but told Dan that without a major improvement in quality, the book might not be publishable.
It's called editing, my dude.
Paul seems like a dick. A few nights later, Dan and Linda got a babysitter and drove into town for a date. They spent more than they should have on a bottle of wine and had such a good time that they didn't notice everyone else leaving. When they finally realized they were the last ones in the restaurant, they apologized and left after giving their waitress a generous tip.
That's very nice.
Just the tip, though. They didn't pay the bill. The next day, Dan made good on a promise to take Tommy into the woods and look for arrowheads, so they drove to the site of a...
something settlement.
Yep, not gonna butcher that word like a white person. And got to work. Dan and Tommy had fun digging around in the dirt, getting messy and looking for artifacts. They found a handful of arrowheads, which Tommy probably showed his mother when they got home.
Good job.
Can't take a break. Holy shit. Yeah, also, what Sarah said, holy
We still have
shit,
2
guys.
minutes more.
On the coast, and their story was just beginning. Oh god, we're a third of the way through this.
Are you enjoying yourself?
I don't know, but I don't know what else I would do, so. The inheritance, who died? Dan got a letter with some surprise. Alright, a new drawing. I'm still not reading it, though. There's no words. And, oh, missed this. Is this the letter?
Whether your child enjoys arts and crafts, swimming, sports, recreation, singing, or exploring, they're sure to have a ball at Camp Emerald Lake. We know that every family has unique needs, and we strive to be as flexible as possible. Daily, weekly, and monthly packages are available in both sleepover and pickup options. Our lifeguards are fully certified, and every counselor is trained in the cutting-edge cardiopulmonary resuscitation technique. Our goal is fun, but our priority is safety. The enclosed brochure contains information on all the exciting opportunities at Camp Emerald Lake. We're sure you'll find many things. What's wrong?
Finish.
Oh, we're sure you'll find many things to like, and we hope to see your child soon.
I don't know if the people who made these, like, mouth tested them before.
It's weird, eh? There's also lipstick on it.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
You kissed me with lipstick on it.
There is. I can't speak from experience or anything, but I feel like this is the closest I'm ever going to get to the feeling of having a flaccid penis in my mouth.
Oh, it's much bigger, honey.
I mean, in terms of just like. It's just something about the. You know? I get it. Yeah, the straw is bigger than most penises. I mean, look at that thing. It's so thick. I want a sick island that has cabinets.
Me too. I want a kitchen that had no rebuilt. Did you see pictures of it?
Yeah, I do lurk in that chat.
I know you do. You never comment, and so I never know whether or not to,
Nope.
to like resend you the cat pictures.
I never comment.
Okay.
I just sometimes see what others have said, and I'm like, I can't be part of this conversation. This is... I just can't. I just can't.
It's okay. Dan, I hope you're doing well. I got this address from your father. I hope it's correct. I'll get to the point. When your cousin Richard passed away last year, we discovered that his pipe business had done very well. He wasn't wealthy, but he was very comfortable. At the execution of his will, we were somewhat surprised to find that he wished to distribute his estate among all living blood relatives. He reserved the lion's share for his immediate family, as I'm sure you will understand, but there was a portion allotted to you as well. Enclosed is a check for the full amount. I trust you will honor his memory by putting it to good use. Uncle Wayne. Wayne?
Yeah. Uncle Wayne. So Dan is,
Ooh, there's the picture house.
Dan is
Isn't
step
it?
related to you.
He have friend. He have a friend. When you get Twitter notifications, all I have to do is ask you which group of bigots it's from.
No, it was actually somebody replying to a bigot.
Agreeing with or disputing?
Good. All right.
Disputing. They were replying to the edited blocked
I
image.
called the co-op today. It isn't wildly expensive, but it sure doesn't fit into the budget. It was a bigger letdown than I thought, not being able to just sign up on the spot. It gets so lonely here sometimes. And I think Tommy's starting to feel it too. We try to play with him every day, and the woods here are pretty magical for someone his age. But kids need to be around other kids sometimes. He can only play with his cars so often. Sometimes I wish there were actual neighbors here. The only friend he's made is Davy, but seeing them at the park once in a while isn't the same as having someone to pal around with every day. It's summer vacation, and he's pretty much all alone.
That's really freaking sad. Maybe you should have thought about that before you moved out to the butt fucking nowhere house.
Maybe. Hot chocolate acquired. What did you miss? I did imply that I didn't even imply. I said this feels like a flaccid penis in my mouth when I drink from it, so that was the thing.
Have you ever had a flaccid penis in your mouth?
No, but again, it's like you want the straw to have, some, like, look at that. That's not, a straw shouldn't do this.
It's not even one of our big straws.
Like, a
One
straw.
of our big bendy straws.
Yeah, but those, like, they're only really used in ice cream. The ice cream
And they
kinda,
do have a little more structural integrity just
Yeah.
because of their size.
I want the straw to, like, yeah, a turgid straw. Ew.
Ow.
Is there something out there?
The entire world's out there.
Insightful, Linda.
Is she hot?
Like, thanks.
Because that's something I would say.
Assuming Dan isn't gonna, like, delve into substance abuse, I'll probably throw him a bone, yeah. Like, Linda, you live in a house, but you're allowed to go outside, you weirdo. Oh, there it is. Linda paints and sits on the floor.
Dan and I had a great talk tonight after Tommy went to bed.
Talk.
I could tell it was hard for him, but he admitted that his drinking had gotten out of hand. I guess sometimes
I
you
bet
just
the
need to hear it
talk
from someone
was
else.
hard for him.
He even gave jogging a shot, and I think that might have been the biggest wake-up call. He couldn't even get through half a mile without being winded. He's sticking with it, though, and I'm glad we have our nights back again.
Oh boy.
What if
Okay. Which is that? Okay.
One down, question mark to go.
Read that. Oh, here's
Hello, small child.
Timmy. I know his name's Tommy.
What about your rocket?
I already played with it.
Yeah, I'm done with it now.
He's bored.
The rocket, I used all the fun juice in the rocket. It's out of fun juice. I can't play with it anymore. It needs a refill of fun juice. Fun juice is liquor.
The child should not have any liquor. Thank you.
It's a video game, it's fine.
The child is still child.
No, he's pixels.
Oh, you're right. Child, where are you? He's so sad.
He's still
He's alone.
that same drawing.
Okay, so we back up and read results.
Bring my kite to the camp. Mommy told me about Crystal Lake.
And then
Okay. So
You do not
just,
want to go to Camp Crystal Lake.
just Danny boy now.
baby like.
Father, where are you? Father. Father.
It was like.
That's
I
normal.
only met Rick once at a family reunion that must have been, 15 years ago? Turns out he made his fortune by, get this, selling high-end pipes.
Like
the Sherlock
crack
Holmes
pipes.
kind, not the plumber
Oh.
kind. He must have been a hell of an interesting guy.
The Sherlock
I mean,
Holmes
he found a
kind.
niche and made his way in the world. You have to respect that. It makes me wonder, am I giving everything I have to this book, or am I leaving myself an out? It isn't announced yet. I could always pull the plug. I'd never get another advance again, sure, but there isn't a gun to my head. Unless I put one there.
I am also concerned about an erotic SpongeBob story. That is very concerning.
I thought we were going to be able to have much more to say about what Dan was writing, and we have not been able to do anything with
I'm gonna cut right
SpongeBob.
through the pleasantries and ask you, who is this Ryan that Mom mentioned on the phone? Someone new? Are you trying to keep it a secret, or did it just slip your mind the last time we talked? Spill it. Things here are moving along, I guess. When we came up, I thought it would be great to have more dedicated time to paint, but I didn't realize it would be so isolating. I miss having more people around and having new ideas floating about. I got lucky in town last week, though. I found an artist co-op called Makeshift, and it seems
Oh dang,
really
it's like
interesting.
Babel, all these storylines are coming together.
But there are lots of different types
And I
of
stole
artists
that.
there.
I just realized I stole that.
More details. I don't remember.
I
if
wasn't
told
even,
you
like-
this, but I've been thinking about going back to painting full time.
I have no idea what's
Anyway,
happening.
enough about me. Tell me what's
She's
up with
gonna
you.
go back to painting full time.
I didn't realize that it was possible to paint the intangible concept of time.
I just love that she told her boss at the painting office that she needed to reduce her painting hours. Can you take Tommy out today? Maybe to the beach? I think you could both use some fresh air. I have to be in town by noon, and I probably won't be back till 4. Lynn. Now, Lynn, we're not on a nickname basis.
Yeah, I'm just not comfortable around her face. Dan. I looked into it, and the guy at the literary register said that pre-release ads do drive up pre-orders quite a bit. It's his job to sell ads, of course, so you have to take that with a grain of salt. I usually leave this kind of thing to the guys in the marketing department, so I'm a little out of my depth here. But I checked with them, and they said the same thing. So it seems like the ads would make sense if the book is good. You don't want to oversell and underdeliver. I have to say, this is the first time I've had a writer offer to pay for extra marketing. You sure about it? There aren't any refunds if the book tanks. You've got some drive, though, coming up with an idea like this. I'll give you that. Think about it and let me know. Paul.
Didn't Paul basically just tell him to, like, quit writing and jump off a bridge? It's the one we read before. Hey, Catherine, let me tell you.
Yeah, sometimes you
The
think
person who needs 4 hours for errands gave birth to me.
4 hours is, like, cutting it short.
Mm-hmm.
No, like, we'll go up for errands with your mom, and it's like a full day thing. It's like 7 hours or bust.
Uh-huh.
Like, by the end of it, I'm like, please feed me. Usually she does, though.
Haven't had a drink on a weeknight in 2 weeks. Came up with a new slogan. Write sober, rewrite sober, rewrite sober. Hemingway it's not, but it's good to smooth things over with Linda and Tommy a bit. Gotta admit, I don't miss hangovers, but still, I do sometimes miss sitting down with a drink and a crazy idea.
Then just have a nice, cold, frosty glass of Beepus. Or, Sprite. Or, 7 Down.
Don't joke like that.
Oh,
And when I finish my book in December,
we'll never know. No, read thoughts. Send Paula an example ad from the literary register. Okay, I can do that. Okay, who are we going with here? Who's the main and who's the...
I think the main should be Dan, because he hasn't been the main yet, has
what's up,
he?
little guy?
He was once.
He was at one point. Everybody's been... No, Mom hasn't been the main. She's only been compromised, I think.
Shoes for her main.
Oh, yes, that's right. Hey, Donald.
I feel like his should be main for this, because, like, he kind of needs this.
Oh god, no, he's staring out the window. I can't do it. I can't share in his depression this way. Okay, so maybe him main and back up for the mom, give her something.
Yeah.
Tommy's had some fun. He just got the car.
Because, like, it's hard to be a happy kid when your parents aren't happy.
Yeah, and also, like, Tommy's an alcoholic, and he needs to be punished for that whole situation.
Yeah, the kid that
The
can't
fun juice.
read or write.
Okay.
Oh.
You park the car outside, guys. It's ridiculous.
The Diary of Claire Bradford, September 5th, 1961. Maybe getting my thoughts down on paper will help. Make a list. That's what Mom always taught me. So, dear diary, here are all the wonderful things about Roger. He's very handsome. He'll soon be working as a lawyer at his father's firm, though the job is no gift. He worked so hard in college. He might be the only person on earth who loves music as much as me. He especially loves the songs I write him. His family has money, which of course shouldn't matter, but it's nice to feel secure. Who wouldn't want to marry someone like that?
Wow, he likes music, you don't say. Does he also like breathing, eating, and sleeping? Seems like a really three-dimensional guy. No other man has ever liked music before Roger. You see, the thing is, that happened in the 60s when men didn't like music, except Roger. Now everybody likes music, so it's not as unique as it once was. I don't see any more glowing. Yeah, Roger Rabbit,
Was there
exactly.
something in the bathroom? I thought I saw something glove. No.
Oh.
The Diary of Claire Bradford, September 6th, 1961. I don't know why, but I feel like I can really get my thoughts together here. That's why this entry isn't going to be very fun, but fair is fair. I've already waited a day, and there's no use delaying it longer. Here are the not-so-wonderful things about Roger. He can be so self-absorbed, especially when he's working on something. No one will ever accuse him of having a great sense of humor. He's so very predictable. Sometimes this makes me feel secure, other times I just feel so bored. I wonder if maybe he spends too much time chasing his father and not enough being his own man. There, now I feel rotten. I do love him very much. Everyone has their flaws. Are his so bad?
Oh, and then you can scroll down and it says also he's a serial killer.
Oh wow.
P.S. But that's not a big deal.
That's really upsetting. Okay, so you're gonna pick the mom, which is her painter bag?
Yeah. Boom. Fast travel.
Now we must whisper to Danny.
Let's leer at this sleeping gentleman.
See, the whispering to Dan mechanic is the weirdest part. Like,
Yeah.
this game is weird, their faces are awful.
When they're awake, I can just, like, select Dan's stack of magazines to make my choice, right? But when they're asleep, I have to, like, lick the inside of his ear. And I'm not sure why that is. No. 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 I'm putting my ear protection on.
Oh, God.
Dan decided to take some small part of his fate into his own hands and place an ad for his book in the literary register. He knew that by placing the ad, he was putting himself on the line to deliver a better book. The accountability jolted him, and for the next week he woke up each day with a newfound focus that translated directly to the page. He wrote the whole thing in the bathroom. Dan called the co-op to see if there were any less expensive options and learned that they hosted after-hours workshops on everything from stitching to calligraphy. He offered to teach creative writing twice a month, and the extra money was enough to pay for Linda to paint at the co-op 1 day a week.
That's nice.
Tommy didn't know much about the camp he'd heard his parents talking about, but he understood enough to know that there were other kids there to play with. He didn't understand why he couldn't go and show his kite to the other children, and the toy became a reminder of his isolation more than a source of joy.
God, we should have picked Tommy.
Holy shit! Here's a video game where you just can't win. We injected sadness directly into his bones. Linda got a letter in the... Like, holy Christmas. Oh boy, a folder.
Mrs. Kaplan, we're thrilled to be exhibiting your work on Thursday. I know this all came together a little last minute, but our secretary is only part-time, and she sometimes gets behind. I've sent along some forms and samples for the ad we plan to run in this week's paper. I know it's probably the last thing you want to worry about right now, but what's the point of putting on a show if no one knows about it? Anyhow, I know this is all a bit hectic, but while we might be small, we have a lot of heart, and we're very excited about your show. Nicole Adams, Westlake Gallery. Yeah, I don't really care about Linda.
Oh, what a anti-woman chatter here.
He beach with his...
Yeah, with his red star briefcase.
No, it's his bucket.
No, it's a red star briefcase.
No, a bucket.
I'm pretty sure it's a briefcase.
A bucket.
Look, I've been aware of your pro-bucket, anti-briefcase agenda for quite some time now.
Has it been 5 years already? I still remember the thought that blindsided me when I saw Tommy for the first time. He's my new...
In a New York
boy.
subway station.
TJ gave me such a look when I told her I was going to cut back on my painting, but she doesn't have any kids, so there's no way she could understand.
Oh my
It's
god.
hard to top creating an entire person.
She genuinely did tell her painting
Maybe she
boss at the
thought
painting
Dan told me
office
I had to stay home.
that she needed to not
That would have
paint
been a
as
very
much.
short conversation. Still, I can't ignore the fact that it's time to figure out what on hold means. What would it look like to go back full time? Do I want to?
I mean,
I think these are two adults that made a really poor decision to drag their child out to the middle of nowhere and then complain about him not being happy.
I guess I'm just a little confused as to why she can't be quote-unquote painting full
Hey,
time.
honey.
Like,
Hey, honey.
you're sitting on the couch, Linda. Go paint.
Right down there.
Cool. Can we go?
Oh, he wants to go to the beach
Mhm.
because the dry. See, look, it's a briefcase. We don't have to look
It's
at
a
it any
bucket.
longer. We know it's a briefcase.
It's a bucket!
I think it's pretty clear that it's his beach briefcase for doing beach work at the beach. Let's go to the beach. Beach.
Nicki Minaj.
Ninky.
Ninky.
Ninky Minaj. That same drawing. He really,
He just keeps drawing it again and again because we keep giving him sadness.
yeah. Be just like Pirate Pete on TV. Okay, we got... I thought we...
We got everything in here. I think there's probably
So there's something in
another
the house, yeah.
We looked at that.
We did. What's this? Paul called again. Are you going to call him back? No.
That's passive aggressive.
Yeah, holy heck.
I wouldn't do that to you, would I?
No one would call your phone for me. These people have a house phone and get letters. This note good for one adventures, find out.
That is cute, okay? That is very cute.
Tommy is Maine. Tommy is Maine. I Maine Tommy.
It's literally like, yeah, the parents' situation sucks, but at least they have an active hand in it. The kid doesn't get to make any of these decisions, and he's just stuck with the consequences.
Go paint, Linda.
Paul. Hey man, if I'd known my letter would set you off like that, I wouldn't have written. My fault. Let's both just calm down. I see now that it was stupid to ask if you knew any art agents. That's like you asking me if I know any professional sculptors. Dumb question, point taken. But believe me, no one's more worried about the schedule than I am. I think about it every day. I can't get away from it. Most nights I start thinking about it and can't stop. My heart starts beating out of control and I have to get up and try to work just to calm down. I'm not slacking off, man. I shouldn't have made you think I was focused on anything else. I'll get everything sorted out. Seriously, Dan.
This Paul guy seems like a real piece of shit. Like, I'm hoping that the end of this game, it just, like, transforms into an FPS and I can murk Paul right between the eyes. Like, my sincerest apologies, Emperor Paul, for asking you a question that might help my wife professionally. Suck it, you milquetoast piece of shit.
Just got back from the co-op. Tuesdays are pretty much my favorite day of the week now. Today, Monica showed me some brush techniques for blending my tones more evenly.
Paul is dead.
She really is amazing. I can't believe how much she can get done in a week. I'm not sure I could keep up that pace even if I could do nothing but paint every day. Going in is always a little bittersweet, though. I can't help but think about how great it would be to go 2 or maybe even 3 days a week. But it means a lot that Dan's giving up his time to help me out with this. I know he's trying as hard as he can.
Thank you for finding a way to connect the cinematic universe. Yes, I believe that.
Also, wow, how selfish is that to be like, I get this thing I want some of the time, and I wish it was more, and then not even think about your kid.
See, that sweater hasn't moved.
These people are fucked up. I'm judging them. Like, I'm seriously judging them. I don't know anything about parenting or how hard it is to be a parent, and I know it's hard to be a parent, but also, like, it doesn't even seem to cross her mind.
I think we should also kill Linda. We'll kill Linda and then use her body to blunt force trauma Paul to death.
This is a memory, so we won't discover any new paintings, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to sort out where the sound is trying to lead me.
It might be downstairs.
Well, I think it's upstairs, though, because when I hit the stairs, it's not. I just want one of these memories to be somebody taking a dump. You might be right. Maybe it's, like, in here. Yeah. That's
cute.
what it's doing.
What is it, Mommy?
Yeah.
I don't know yet, honey.
Great. Thanks, Linda. Profound.
Yeah, I'm pissed at Linda. In arts and entertainment news, the Westlake Gallery has announced a show by visiting artist Linda Kaplan. A resident of Warrenton, Mrs. Kaplan is visiting the coast with her family and has completed a new series she describes as an expression of restrained emotion using society's imposition on nature as a lens. Details of the show will be forthcoming. Local art enthusiasts will be doubly pleased to learn that the community center will be
Burned to the ground next Tuesday.
Aggressive.
Yeah, I don't know why they'd be enthused to learn about that. I think the optics of that one are
Now we can read Linda's thoughts to see what she wants.
tight. I'll do that when I'm done with Paul's brain. I'd love to, like, just at some point, you leave the character's mind and they're having, like, just a vicious nosebleed because you're giving them extreme brain damage.
Hey, what's wrong?
This is almost as better as the Ope one. Almost as better. Almost as good as. It's better. Oh. I can only... A deep breath, boy. Dan is just really struggling. Primarily because I made him sigh 11 times. Oh no, he's doing the look out the window.
The ad ran today. Picked up the latest issue in town. I don't know if it'll amount to anything sales-wise, but that's not the point. I'd forgotten how scary it was to put your work out there and promise something to people, and that brought it all into focus. It's so different thinking about the book as something I eventually have to sell people, not just something I'm working on for myself. But now it's out there. It's terrifying and irreversible. People know about the book, and to them it's exactly what they want it to be. Some finished, beautiful thing. If only they could see it right now. A bunch of jigsaw pieces on the floor. And I've got to put them all together.
How anything is, though. Nothing starts in a finished product.
I mean, we're giving Linda a lot of shit here, but I would like to point out that this is like the most wildly cliche, trite depiction of how people work. Like, this is so, like, the man has to, you got the breadwinner. Like, holy shit. Could this be written any more? I don't know who made this game, right? Like, I'm not making any declarations about who I think they are, but if you were to tell me this game was written by someone who 18 times a day tweets about how much they hate women, I'd be like, yeah, that tracks. Like, let's write Linda to just be like a big old asshole. The person who wrote this game wears a trucker hat at all times. Even in the bath. Did I get enough to uncover his memory? Oh, I found everything in the memory anyway. We read that, right? That's Paul? Yeah. Sorry, Dan, you go ahead. Sorry, Dan, you go ahead. I just want to read this note here. Friday, rap draft. Saturday, family day. Sunday, Dialogue pass. Fix Alice. Revisions when? Fixing a whole person on Sunday, that's pretty intense.
It just never stops. Every time I plot something I think will hold together, it falls to pieces. This thing was supposed to be done months ago, but the further I get, the harder it is to make it all work. Nothing's ever as simple as it seems at first. I'll think about a problem for days, finally come up with a fix, and then realize it breaks something somewhere else. I can barely hold all the threads together. Sometimes this thing just feels too big for me.
I've never heard of them.
And walk away. But what else would I do? And the deadlines don't help either. I can't think harder or faster. This stuff comes when it comes, and getting stressed out about it just makes it harder to get the words down. Like right now, I'm writing about the thing instead of working on the thing. Damn it, Dan, get to work.
You would do the Google.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. They only have 2 games on Steam. Like, people apparently like this game. But okay, I thought this was like a listicle or something, but I think actually it's just like some semblance of like an auto-generated list. If you put in any company into this link, it'll probably, like, if I were to put in let's see here. Yeah, so if you put in Devolver Digital in the link instead, it just auto-generates. But searching orthogonal games, one of the links, like the third option was 20 best orthogonal games, and their top 20 games are 2 games, because they've only ever made 2 games. So I initially thought it was a listicle, and then opened it up and was like, you recognize, whoever put this together, that you're missing 18 games, and maybe you should have just said, hey, these are the 2 games these people made. Here's the top 2. Anyway. Oh, I'm ready to read everybody's thoughts. Ah, good lord.
Typewriter.
Chain myself to the typewriter. Good lord. Take my bucket to the beach with Daddy. Tommy, it's a briefcase. Okay. It's okay. Everybody makes mistakes.
Hi, Mom.
Nope. Oh, God. Oh, God. Daddy says the candy store is our secret? Well, I wish I would have never read that. Dan could take care of the promo forms on the coffee table. Do anything for yourself! What for the promo forms? No.
Bucket?
Oh, right. We're maining Tommy in Smash now. Did we read this?
Big news, Barb. I'm putting
No.
on a show. Can you believe it? I've already got butterflies. It's been so long. I'm glad it's a small gallery so I can ease my way back into things a bit. And I want to do it right. I'd forgotten how much work goes into things that aren't painting when it's time to put on a gallery. You know I could never stand all the logistical rigmarole. Plus I have a piece I really want to finish before the show. So much to do. I want to take it seriously and go through the whole process, though, because if the show goes well, who knows? Hope to hear from you, and hope you can come, of course. Yours always, Linda.
Who the fuck is Barb? Probably doesn't even exist. Select the beach bucket. For sure.
And we'll pick the typewriter next.
Tommy is my main dog. All my homies love Tommy.
We need to look for the bright things.
Oh, right. Oh, there's one behind me. That's... I did not notice.
The Diary of Claire Bradford, September 7th, 1961. I realize now that this isn't about Roger. It's about me. I have to decide who I want to be. Marrying Roger will set so many things in motion. We'll be able to... Words. We'll be a well-to-do couple, safe and secure, with wonderful friends and loving families. I may slowly fade into being Roger's wife instead of Claire. But that will be society's doing, not Roger's. He loves me too much to do that. But what about my music? If I'm accepted at Berkeley, I don't know what we'll do. I can't ask him to quit his job after a month after he starts. But what kind of couple lives in separate cities as soon as they get married? The decision can't be this black and white, can it? Position and safety versus a crazy pursuit alone? Is there a way to have it all? Do I even want it all? Will I ruin everything no matter what I choose? Moon.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it's pronounced it's Barclay. It's the Barclay College of Music. It's named after NBA player Charles Barkley.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think you're true.
Pick the typewriter.
You do need to pick the typewriter. Suck it, Linda, you loser.
The Diary of Claire Bradford, September 8th, 1961. Roger and I talked everything over today, and it was a mistake to speak so soon. I never should have brought any of this up without making my mind first. Now I've only made things more difficult. I guess I was daydreaming, and he asked me what was on my mind. And before I could help it, it just came out. Although maybe I wanted to get it off my chest. I told him I wasn't sure if it was the right time to get married, and it upset him badly. It didn't matter how many times I told him that I wasn't calling it off, that I just had questions, that I hadn't made up my mind either way. All he heard was that I didn't love him anymore, which isn't true at all, but it didn't matter how many times I said that either. He's gone off for a drive, and now I'm here in the house alone. I think I've made up my mind. I hope he gets back soon so I can tell him. Jesus.
Roger's gonna die. What?
Ready?
Dan knew that grown-up problems like deadlines and promo write-ups didn't carry much weight with Tommy. He also knew that there were no conch shells in Oregon, so he ordered one from a catalog with express shipping. It got there in time for Dan to sneak off and bury it on Friday, and the look on Tommy's face when he dug it up made it all worth it.
Oh my god, that's cute.
Maybe we're Roger because he died. Dan knew he couldn't deliver a finished chapter on time, but he decided that sending a rough draft would be better than sending nothing at all. He called Paul to warn him about the state of the work. Paul understood. He even thanked Dan for his honesty and thought the chapter was in its early stages. Though the chapter is in its early stages, Paul saw enough promise to keep the publisher at bay a little longer. Whew. Linda had to do the promotional write-up herself. She was a visual thinker, not a writer, and the final product didn't attract much interest in the local paper. The show came and went without much notice, and Linda couldn't stop wondering if having a better turnout would have opened more doors for her painting career. Why does it have to be so gosh darn fast? Just a second, I need to fix these boys. The funny funeral? The funeral. Yes?
That night Linda got a phone call. Oh god.
About the funny funeral? God. No, it's Roger, down the pens.
I would feel bad if her mom died and we didn't let her see her mom.
We did let her see her. We didn't do anything to change whether she saw her mom. If they were planning to come visit, and for some reason this woman who had all the time in the world to fix the sweater, again, I don't know why I had to choose to let her. She for some reason said, oh hey mom, and also the sweater something something, and her mom was like, oh okay, well then I just won't come see you. That's not my fault. I don't feel bad if that's the case.
Dan, big news. Got a call from Bracket Books in Eugene. I said that right.
Yes.
And they want to do a reading from Windsong. Maybe even some Q&A, some book signings, all that good stuff. I think you should do it. In fact, I'm going to be pretty pissed if you don't. Bracket is a big outlet, so if this goes well... orders for the new book will definitely go up. I don't need to remind you how long it's been since Trammer's Way came out. If you don't keep your name out there, no one will even notice when you finish the new book, whatever it's called. Hell, speaking of the new one, why don't you read some of it too? Maybe the second chapter you sent me last month. That one was pretty good. Bracket Books, Eugene, the 21st. See you there. Paul. P.S. You know the long game, right? Nailing this one could mean a bigger advance on the next book.
You actually didn't pronounce it right. It's not Eugene, it's Huigani. Huigani.
Don't. Anything on the coffee table?
Many things.
Mark the 21st of this month on your calendars. For one day only, watch the world-famous Fighter 5 as they scream across the sky, with death-defying feats flying in a display unlike anything you've ever seen. Guaranteed to blow you away. Don't miss it. So I know what the kid wants to do now.
Anne, I just got off the phone with Mom. She told me about Grandma Joe. I know we expected it sooner rather than later, but this is hitting me so much harder than when Granddad died last year. Do you remember going to Grandma Joe's house after school on Wednesdays and playing until Mom got off work? How Grandma Joe always had a surprise for us, even if it was just cookies in the oven. She'd always time it so the whole house would smell like them when we got there. I hope the minister captures those little moments because they don't seem as little now. I wish the circumstances were different, but it will still be good to see you at the funeral. What am I saying? You probably won't even get this until after the funeral. I guess I just needed to write anyway. Love, Linda.
Yeah.
Call Paul first thing tomorrow morning. Any possible way to move it? Is this thing announced yet? The funeral and the book signing are on the same day, too.
Oh.
All three things are on the same day.
Excuse me.
I think Tommy can go to the air show by himself. It's fine. He's an adult.
No!
What do you mean?
He's a child!
What do you mean? He's fine. Jesus. Hey, D-Dog?
I think the rough draft was just enough to keep Paul off me a little longer. I hated sending it to him like that, but it was way better than sending nothing. At least I can prove I was working and that things are moving forward. He seemed to like the ideas that were there, though of course he had a lot of feedback. Fair enough. It was a rough draft, and I can't imagine the hell it would have caught if I'd sent him an empty envelope.
This is a time before emails existed. It is weird to think about. Oh, really?
I sit on the fucking floor.
Lynn, I'm so sorry. Tell me what I can do.
Just be here for me.
I think the funeral has to come first.
Just got back from the show, if you can even call it that. I didn't sell a single piece, which isn't a surprise given the turnout. I know Dan had other things on his mind, but I told him how important it was to me. It was such a good opportunity to figure out what I want to do when we get back home, too. But I can't make up my mind based on such a half-hearted exhibit. Was that Dan's way of telling me he's not ready for me to go back? I don't want to read too much into it, at least not so soon, but it's really hard not to.
Okay, hear me out. Have the book thing and the air show at the same location and put Grandma's ashes in the plane and spread them over everybody while it does a loop-de-loop. Like a set the plane on fire, Viking funeral sort of situation.
I don't think Grandma
See,
Joe's
Sarah
gonna-
supports me. Sarah is a smart and progressive go-getter.
Wait, he's in the memory, so
He is, but there's no
weird.
See, Catherine is a smart and progressive go-getter. Both Sarah and Catherine know how to make compromises, get things done, make everyone happy, and order a conch shell from a catalog. Which is crazy, because I wouldn't even know where to find a catalog at this point. Okay then. Sobbing sounds. Great and cool. And you just kind of have to look past her. Oh, I haven't found everything for her yet. Son of a bitch. Oh. What's that? Can I read that? Let me read it. Asshole. You drunk again? Oh, maybe this is what I need to find for her.
I walked out to the bluff to remember Grandma Joe and say goodbye. And on the way back, I started thinking about what it really means to have a family, to make that your focus. She seemed to take such joy in being surrounded by her family, providing for them, taking care of them. I hope I never took that for granted. When I got back to the house, a question hit me that I can't get out of my head. What will Tommy think about Dan and me when he gets older? And what if Tommy has kids of his own? I can't even begin to think of myself as a grandmother. I haven't even been a mother for that long, and I'm still feeling my way through what it means to be a good one. At least I'll always have an example. I miss you, Grandma Joe, and I'll never forget you. I promise.
Now we can read those.
Jesus. Okay. Oh, hey, bud.
He's drawing the.
Oh, no! We're gonna ruin this drawing. Okay. Something in the living room. Still, nobody's taking a poop. Pretty upset about TBH.
Yeah.
Is she in heaven?
I'm sure she is, honey.
Look at your child, ma'am.
No, Tommy. Grandma is. Because despite all the good things she did, she was also a communist. And everybody knows
I think we got
that
it.
heaven is a capitalist society. Ah. Okay.
Is a shell anything?
Oh. No.
Most of you here knew my grandmother. For those who didn't, I truly wish you had. She was an example for all of us. Her warmth, her caring, and her smile were impossible to forget. It's still hard for me to believe she's gone. Without her, the world is...
Is that how you're supposed to pronounce an ellipsis?
I've been doing it wrong my whole life.
I hate those funeral crashers who show up in like groups of 50 and they didn't even know the person. At every funeral I've ever been to, Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson walk in, and I'm like, guys, not cool.
Oh, no. Joe's funeral's the same day as the signing in Eugene, and Paul says they can't move it. He'll understand if I bail because he knows Linda, but Grovefield is a different story. They won't give a damn why I missed it. They'll just get a memo and put it in a spreadsheet somewhere and write me off just a little bit more. And it's not just the timing. If I do the reading, I've got to get that chapter in shape. It's not even remotely ready for anyone to see it. Can't worry about what Paul says. He's my agent. He's supposed to stroke me. And what about Tommy?
Okay, Paul. Yes, Owen Wilson, the cowboy from Night at the Museum, but also the wedding crasher from Wedding Crashers.
He's stroking us.
Let's never say that again. More clues for Timmy.
Maybe it's downstairs.
You doing it? Oh, okay.
He's stroking.
Stop. It's true, buddy.
Ooh, there's on the wall. Drop.
Oh. Sick.
It's a pilot.
Uh-oh.
Now we can read Tommy's
Oh,
thoughts.
Tommy. There are, buddy. There are.
So what are we gonna pick? I think we should pick the funeral first.
I don't see how any of the others can be a compromise. Like, they don't exist on a different day. You know? I am gonna select the phone.
I think we should compromise on Dan.
I mean, Dan's gonna compromise all over Paul, apparently.
Jeez.
God, what harrowing music.
It's a new slang term.
Yeah. All the kids are... The kids aren't saying it. I hate what I've done.
Kitchen.
Oh, sick.
There's two. The Diary of Kay Williams, May 8th, 1952. Jay is gone, and I am alone. That is the sum of it. No other thought enters my mind. Wed 38 years, now alone. A senseless accident has taken Jay from me. What should I do with myself? I do not know. Or what I should do with myself, I do not know. Money is no worry. Time. That is the thing. There's so much of it still ahead of me. I have been blessed with health, but that blessing is now a curse. It is nothing more than the curse of time alone, without Jay. I attempt to look ahead, but cannot envision a path without Jay. For so long, I had no need to imagine one. The children do not understand why I've come to this house alone, as they cannot understand my loss. Yeah, what happened to Claire? Diary of Kay Williams, May 12th, 1952. I cannot say that I feel better than I did upon arriving, for Jay is still gone. But I do feel a change. Some glimmer of a path is taking form in my mind. I cannot describe it other than a narrowing of thought. Perhaps time alone is to be thanked, or perhaps it is something else, something unknown. Today I drove to McClendon's to buy coffee, wine, and vegetables, although I was not due to run short of those for a few days more. I confess I went to hear human voices, to be around the living. I conversed with a pleasant couple, and it did me no small measure of good. My first words came out as a croak, and I realized I had not spoken in days. A small reminder of my solitary days here, alone with my thoughts, thinking of Jay, staring at the sea just over the cliff. Though I must confess that my gaze always drifts from the sea to the edge of the cliff. Jesus, she's gonna kill herself.
Wow, that's something there. Jay and Kay and everybody involved.
What did Claire even pick between Roger and the thing?
What am I... So I am able somehow. What is it that I need to... Okay, serious work on the chapter. So, you can still work, but there's no event? Like,
I guess we'll see.
Oh. Oh, right.
You have to whisper to her.
Sorry,
Is there anything on the desk in here?
No, I repressed the memory of the whisper mechanic. God.
Dan couldn't bear the thought of Linda going to the funeral alone, so he bought a ticket and flew to Denver with her. The funeral was hard for Linda, but having Dan there made it easier to bear. They stayed up late the night of the funeral as Linda told Dan stories about Grandma Joe. They talked about maybe being grandparents themselves one day.
Where'd they put Tommy?
I don't know.
Left him in the house.
Read it.
Dan talked Paul into a compromise. He would work on the chapter and send it to Paul as soon as he could. Then Paul would try to talk Brackett into including an excerpt in their quarterly in-store preview. It wouldn't have the same impact as a personal appearance, but it would still build some awareness.
Thank you.
When Dan told Tommy they wouldn't be able to go to the show, Tommy had a crying fit and tried to tear up the magazine. It worried his parents. He hadn't thrown a fit like that for almost a year. It was exactly the kind of thing they'd hoped to avoid by spending the summer in such a quiet, peaceful place. And you did, in fact, tell Tommy that a person died, right? As July came to an end, the Kaplans' lives had developed a pattern. Dan finished his first draft, and he almost ran to the mailbox to send a copy to Paul. He knew it was good, and he wanted to show his agent that he was close to something great. If he could just keep it together a little longer, he would have a book he was proud of. I have lots of books I'm proud of. I just didn't write them. Dan and Linda spent the weekend at a bed and breakfast. They relaxed, went hiking, and had a quiet dinner at the corner table of a small restaurant down the street. Afterward, they walked home hand in hand like they were 21 again, content and in love.
Yeah, we fixed their marriage.
And on the following Tuesday, Tommy put on an art show in the den, explaining his drawings to his parents one by one. Dan made sure to ask questions and engage his son, who was more than happy to elaborate on his artistic intent. Dan and Linda clapped for each drawing, and by the end of the show, Tommy was beaming.
That's cute.
They did not get a babysitter. Tommy's an adult. It's fine. They still had a month left, but Dan's chances to change the course of the summer were growing fewer. Tommy's like more of an alcoholic than his father. He's gonna be fine. Uh-oh. Vacation? Was this not...
I wonder what would happen if you played the game only choosing Dan as the primary and Tommy as a secondary and never choosing Linda. Like, I wonder if she would just leave you.
We're gonna have to look into that.
Like
as options after. Oh god. Sorry. I hit the button that makes everything go insane. You may be thinking, why would I have that button? I don't know. Good question.
home to a stunning display of natural beauty,
Ochoco?
Thank you. Ochoco National Forest is a perfect destination for hunters, wilderness enthusiasts, and weekend campers alike. One-of-a-kind rock formations provide exciting challenges for climbers. The many canyons offer scenic hiking experiences, and the swimming opportunities are many. Located less than 5 hours from Portland and less than 6 from the Central Coast, Ochoko is perfect for a summer getaway. For more information or to request a brochure, please call the ranger station at...
And then you call Delilah. Exactly.
Because that is how you pronounce names.
That's true.
Ooh. Blast off at Booster Bay. Come enjoy all the excitement of Booster Bay this weekend. We have a very special discount for all the young astronauts out there, children under the age of 12 who bring their official Booster Bay Astrojet. Get free admission to the park. Take a flight to remember on our world's famous rocket coaster. Explore the inner workings of 3 model spacecraft in our educational city in the sky. Treat yourself to burgers, ice cream, cosmic cotton candy, and more in the food court of the future. There's never been a better time to visit Booster Bay, and you can't beat the price.
Can't beat it. There's
Yeah,
never been a better time.
prices are kind of intangible. I don't think you could beat it anyway. Why would you even use a bat? Would you verbally abuse it?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Mom there. Why do they
Just got
brood
back
so
from the
much?
funeral. It was even harder than I expected, but it was moving to see just how many people loved Grandma Jo.
Mm-hmm.
She really was a special woman.
It's good.
Dan was there every step
I'm
of the
good.
way,
I didn't know her.
even though we got in a
She's
lot
fictional.
of trouble for missing that book signing. I don't think it's fair how mad they got at him about that. It was a funeral. But I guess that doesn't count for much in the business world.
Actually, that's not true. It does count.
No, you're in the business world, not the book business world, thank you.
I'm going out for a hike.
Okay, be safe.
That's nice. You got all the things in her memory.
Oh, did I? Ah! No, I didn't want to go back in.
Anne, what's the latest with you? I hope you're doing better than I am. I'm going a little stir crazy. Dan loves it here, but he's just writing all day long, so he could be anywhere. I could use a change of scenery. I've walked every trail in the woods and even started a few of my own. It's great getting away from the city, but I wouldn't exactly call this roughing it. Tommy's certainly having a good time exploring the woods. Sometimes we go together, and if I'm in the studio, he knows he can play outside where I can see him, and to stay away from the cliff. Do you remember when we were kids trying to jump the creek in the woods behind the house? I think Tommy's getting into that phase now, climbing trees and all that. Oops, I got a little carried away there. You probably don't need to hear about all of our outdoor adventures. Sorry about that. Well, let me know how you're doing. Love, Linda.
Okay, where'd she go? Go camping. Hey, bud. Still not taking a poop.
You know, could always be better.
How was work? How was work? How was work? How was work? How was work?
It's a rave. Goth rave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Up, 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 up. You know?
I do not know. Ooh, I see a glow.
Dude, you have so many chairs.
Paul was mad, but he understood. It helped that I threw him a bone with the quarterly idea. I think it appealed to his competitive nature. He said he wasn't sure it would work, but I knew he was sandbagging. He probably took it as a personal challenge and called Brackett to pitch the idea as soon as we hung up.
You got them. Oh, there go.
Very cool.
Be careful, honey.
Tommy!
Sorry.
Tommy, why are you gonna do this?
Days is...
Oh, we never checked his office.
Mm-hmm. Oh my.
That's cute.
You could be working a regular job right now. Jim said you'd never make it. He said you're a joke. This is an opportunity, not a burden. An idea that is not dangerous is unworthy of being called an idea at all. Oscar Wilde. 1 page at a time. Do not fear death so much, but rather the inadequate life, Bertolt Brecht.
Penny, thanks so much for your letter. It made my day. Tramer's Way came out a while ago now, so I don't get letters like this too often. Writing can be a pretty isolating profession at times, which makes it a big boost to hear that someone out there is getting something from my work. Your support means the world to me. To answer your question, I'm indeed in the midst of writing a new book. I don't have a title or a release date yet, but I'm plugging away on it slowly but surely. I plan to finish it by the end of summer, and I truly hope you enjoy it when it comes out. Thanks again for your kind words. Dan Kaplan.
That's sweet. Now we can read Dan's.
Okay, they both want a camp.
I think we should go with Dan first, and then the kid second.
Yeah. I'm down with that.
Right, his name's Tom. I did forget that.
Firewood.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Linda, you also want to camp, and Dan wants to camp. Maybe talk to your husband instead of making this ghost raccoon fucking read your mind.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm being affectionate.
And your density, too. Don't forget that. Both destiny and density.
The Diary of Kay Williams, May 15th, 1952. It is late, but I must record my thoughts. Perhaps it will help me make some sense of them. I should not say thoughts, as there is only one thought in my mind. I look back but a week, and see that when I arrived, my only thought was of Jay being gone. That sad thought has been replaced by another. What if I were gone as well? I told you! I told you! I shouldn't be excited about that. I feel regret in the simple writing of those words. If I am truthful, it is not a thought that has occurred to me before. I cannot be sure where it came from. It is almost as if it was put in place by something I do not understand. I must think of my family and their heartache. Our children have lost one parent. I could not bear to hurt them again, though they are all grown and have no practical need of me. Yet, I had no strictly practical need of Jay, and look at where that loss has left me. Perhaps I will venture into town tomorrow. Maybe some stranger, unknowing, will show me some kindness, some small thing that plants a seed of hope.
I have also forgotten why we are a raccoon.
Yeah, I forgot why.
I had just hoped that letter would end with like, and now I will jump off the cliff. But that's not how you write a letter, so.
Yeah, and I feel like even if you jumped halfway through writing, like how would the letter end up back in the
Yeah, that's the joke. That is the joke.
Hi.
Physical letter doesn't really
You gotta pick the rockets.
work with the... Yeah, but... Oh, I guess I might as well pick a lumber here. You're right.
Because we gotta do something nice for the child who we dragged out into the middle of nowhere for no good reason. Actually, that's not true.
He was being bullied about something.
on the desk.
Yep.
Diary of K. Williams, May 16th, 1952. I feel shame looking back on last night's entry, yet it does clarify the choices before me. I can walk to the cliff, close my eyes, lean forward, and be done. It would not be hard. Or I could find a path forward without Jay. I hold no hope that I will find another love in the autumn and winter of my life, but perhaps there is peace to be found. I went into town this morning and stopped at the cafe. I sat at a sidewalk table and sipped coffee, watching people pass now and then as they lived their lives. I will never think of my time in this house fondly. The circumstances make such a remembrance an impossibility. But I know that my time here has allowed me to part the fog that clouded my mind when I arrived. I now know that there are two paths before me. All that is left is to choose.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to do a quick little bathroom break, and we're going to leer at this sleeping man. No.
I'm not even gonna whisper anything to you. I'm just like going. Pss, 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 pss. Me smush his ear? I can do that.
No.
I smush your ear.
I'm hiding my ears. I'm using these mugs to protect them.
Hi. You know what I realized? I don't own any makeup remover. I need to buy some. Maybe I'll go to the store tomorrow. I am wearing the makeup. But I don't own makeup remover, so it's kind of complicated to like wash my face and take it off and get like glitter into my eyes because there's glitter. You can't see it in the pictures I sent you, but there's glitter. I'm covered in glitter. And I love it. I like being sparkly. But Corey won't let me do this. My pouch. Oh yeah, you sent me a kitty? Oh, kitty. What a good kitty. Hi, say hi to Mom for me. The kitty. They do hugging. That is so cute. Oh no, it's all good. I need to watch the UK drag races. I've heard lots of good things. But we kind of like the American drag races we kind of fell off on, and we haven't finished them, so like I don't know. I will have to watch it. I really have heard lots of good things though. Hi. Kitty. Would you like to see? Kitty. She's a good girl.
Okay.
you gonna read it?
Dan put his book first and explained that he simply didn't have time for a longer trip. He tried to make it up to them with a one-night beach camping trip, where he happened to get a new idea for his book. The night off relaxed him, and by noon the next day he was back at his typewriter, working with renewed purpose.
Good job. That does seem like a compromise, though. Already, with a mom.
She won't see it that way.
No, she-
Tommy was so proud of finding the free admission special for Booster Bay that he couldn't understand why his parents hadn't taken him for free. Dan tried to explain the reasons, but it did little good. Tommy perked up when his father told him they would go before the summer was out, no matter what it cost. Interesting compromise, but alright.
There's hair in my eye.
Oh no. Linda was disappointed that they didn't go camping in a Choco, so she went on a day hike by herself just to get out of the house and try to get some use from her new pack. She was only an hour into her hike when she twisted her ankle on a tree root and had to limp back home in pain, alone and angry.
And whose fault is that, Linda?
Jesus Christ.
Momento? I think two.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, actually. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is close to the end.
Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan, I want to stress that it's perfectly normal for some children to fall behind in a specific area. Tommy may be struggling with reading comprehension, but his verbal and visual abilities are excellent. That said, he won't catch up on his own. He will need support from both of you. I recommend that you do the attached exercises with Tommy every weekday morning for 2 hours. He'll be unable to focus exclusively on these for 2 straight hours, so you'll need to take intermittent breaks. But use your judgment and stay with it as long as you feel he can stay engaged. I suggest that you do your sessions in the morning, before he tires himself out and becomes distracted. I feel confident that with a supportive environment and detailed exercise...
Dedicated. Not even close, bud. Not even...
Thanks. And dedicated exercise, he will catch up to the other children in his class. Please be in touch if you have any questions. Look, it's 10 p.m. I'm doing pretty good.
Detailed.
I just wasn't reading detail.
Barb, sorry it's been so long since I've written. Things have been hectic around here, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get things back on track. I don't really want to get into it, but we're getting pulled in a lot of different directions right now. Nothing hurtful, just competing priorities, I guess. Although those can get worse and worse over time. I mean, Dan and I, before we got up here, we'd started to drift. Look at that. I said I didn't want to get into it, and I did anyway. Enough about me. Please tell me you're doing well, and I hope this doesn't stress you out too much. I promise to write a happier letter soon. Yours always, Linda.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Why is there never anything in the bathrooms?
Right? Why even have bathrooms?
Weekly outing. Where? Tuesday movie night. Check channel guide or maybe go into town. Family dinner. 2 old-fashioned. Picnic. Farmer's market.
Yeah, eating dinner is pretty old-fashioned. That's true.
Dan and I had a good conversation today. Well, we'll have to wait and see if it was actually good, but I feel like I got my point across about family time. We've been getting a little frayed on the little things lately, and it reminded me of something Anne said one time. Love is a behavior, not an emotion. If something's important to you, you show it with your actions. We weren't doing so well with that before we got here. I told Dan my idea. I want us all to eat together at 7 every night, with family time after that. Tommy's wiped out by 8:30, so we'd get a solid hour and a half as a family, and then Dan and I could have the rest of the night to ourselves. And I think 7's a reasonable request. The rest of the working world knocks off at 5, right? It doesn't really matter what we do with the time, just that we spend it together. It's easy to make excuses when you've got a lot going on, which is why patterns help. I hope he feels the same way. We barely talked yesterday.
Wow, you're right. I guess we've just been so busy.
That's true.
So much for Ochoko. I wish I hadn't done so much research to find sites and trails, because now I keep catching myself daydreaming about them instead of working. I still need to get out of the house. I've done the Ridge Trail probably 15 times now. It hardly seems worth it anymore. Finding new spots is half the point. I guess tomorrow I'll check in town and see if there's a local guidebook or ranger office. Maybe there's something I haven't found yet. Something nearby is still better than nothing.
Thought you wanted to paint.
Yeah, lady, make up your mind. It's your grandma.
Oh, hey, bud. Can't do anything for this child. He's never happy. Yeah, paint outside. In the forest.
Honey, listen to me. You are smart.
Will it make me smarter?
Will it make my face more normal?
You got all the things.
Oh yeah, you're right. There's no sound. Yeah, Stevie and Kevin get it. Poor Stevie. Oh no.
He doesn't like his homework. Oh no, they're bullying.
Oh no, are Stevie and Kevin the bullies? Because I will remove their skin. All of it. At once.
I was going to ask you how much skin you were going to remove, but...
I will peel their skin off like they are bananas.
The father was in the room, staring out the window and brooding.
Well, he's right here now. Well, now he's staring out a window and brooding.
So surprising.
New. Unique.
I could tell Linda and Tommy were disappointed, but I wouldn't have been any fun on vacation anyway. Too stressed about getting to the finish line. I did try to have a little fun with the bonfire, which could have been described as roaring, for a good 30-minute period anyway. Getting out of the house turned out to be a good idea too. Spending the night on the beach reminded me of a church retreat we did back in 7th grade. The smell of the bonfire gave me such a strong memory of a crush I had on Jenny something. Or was it Jennifer? I can't remember. But I do remember those flushed schoolboy emotions. I think I can use those for the scene at the dance.
Upstairs?
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have snapped. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have snapped.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Okay. Oh god.
Doug.
Perfect schedule, aka the single unattached writer's guide. 10 to 2, write. 2 to 3, eat and step away. 3 to 7, write. 7 to 8, eat. 8 to 10, decompress, edit, and life. Wrenches. Tommy till 11, knock off at 7.
Alan, this letter might come from out of the blue, but do you remember when you told me about Bobby falling behind on reading? Looks like we're there with Tommy. We knew he was struggling when we came up here, but his teacher gave us a list of books for him to work on over the break and said we should see how he responded to the change in environment. She gave us a few sample readings and told us to keep an eye on how he was grasping the concepts. Tommy still isn't there, and long story short, the pediatrician in town knows a specialist who gave us some exercises to try. They seem pretty straightforward, but I wanted to write and see if you had any tips that helped you guys with Bobby. Damn, just realized I didn't even ask how you've been. I'm sorry. This stuff is just a lot to think about. Dan.
Anything in the bedroom?
Well, we have all the stuff to read his thoughts.
Oh, good morning.
Oh.
Oh, that's the book.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay. Time.
Guess it'd all be easier if I didn't ever have to sleep. Last night after Linda went to bed, I spent some time, there's that word again, trying to make everything fit. I even drew up a little chart. The math is simple. It doesn't work. Technically, I could still get in 8 hours, assuming I don't eat or need to do anything that's not writing. But what about letters, reading, dealing with Paul? Hell, what about doing the dishes or taking out the trash? Not to mention that knocking off for the day isn't like flipping off a switch. It takes time to crawl out of my head and start functioning like a normal person again. And I can't just split it up into smaller chunks. Sometimes it takes an hour of false starts just to get going on anything usable, and stopping just sends the whole process right back to square one. Something's got to give.
Maybe if you started earlier than 10 in the morning. I know I'm not one to talk, but I'm also not a creative writer by trade.
Get back to the...
Inside you. Dan, I'm gonna be...
So what decision do we want to make?
Don't know.
I feel like Tommy should come first.
I just feel like if we don't teach Tommy how to read, it doesn't matter if his dad writes a book.
Do you agree, Tommy, then, Dan? Yeah, Linda doesn't seem to be very understanding.
I'm a little concerned that, like, my man Dan is doing a full job, and also he needs to do the dishes and take out the trash because Linda's busy brooding about how she has hiked the same trail 15 times. Like, I don't know. Maybe do the dishes, Linda.
Yeah. The Diary of Kay Williams, May 19th, 1952. I have decided, and I am sure of my decision. I do not know which is right or wrong, only that my choice is my own. It took 3 days. 3 days alone, letting whatever calming influence is here, for I am sure there is something. guide my thoughts. I thought about Jay and talked with Jay in my mind, and I know that this is right. I cannot think about the path not taken, only the one ahead. I think she's gonna jump. No, I agree. I'm not sympathetic to Linda at all in this story. Like, I understand she wants family time, but, like, for real, you need to understand your husband's going through it. I guess that was it.
Oh. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dan didn't want Tommy to start another school year behind, so he committed to helping the little man for 2 hours every morning. Having both of his parents there helped Tommy's confidence as much as his reading, and their morning practices became an event they all looked forward to. But they didn't do dinner together, so it wasn't enough for Linda, and she shot them both. Dan reached a compromise with his family. He would make room in his schedule during the day, but when his office doors were closed, he wasn't to be disturbed. He desperately wanted longer, uninterrupted writing blocks, but made the best of the shorter sessions he was able to fit in. Linda and Tommy got used to eating dinner without Dan, and most nights he stopped work just long enough to kiss Tommy goodnight before heating up his dinner in the oven. Dan and Linda still found time to catch up a few nights a week, but most of the time they were ships passing in the night, each on their own course.
Sometimes it's just how it is.
This is the last chapter.
Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan, after additional consideration, I'd like to augment my recommendation. I believe that the best course of action for Tommy's development will be continued tutoring throughout the school year. It will be important to coordinate with his teachers and make sure the lessons are aligned. As before, encouragement from both of you is a critical component. Mr. Kaplan, I have observed that Tommy looks to you in particular for validation, which I believe comes from a connection he's made with your profession. If at all possible, you should be part of his tutoring, although Mrs. Kaplan is more than capable of aiding him as well. I hope I haven't overstepped my bounds by contacting you, but Tommy is a bright boy, and I think with proper support, he can not only catch up, but excel. I understand you'll be leaving town shortly, but please don't hesitate to contact me by phone during the school year if I can be of help. Dr. Donald Samuels.
Yeah, help Timmy out, everyone.
Oh. Mr. Kaplan, we've reached a decision and are pleased to offer you the position of Assistant Professor of Literature. We had many applicants for the position, and after careful review, we feel your history with the university and your status as a published author will give you a unique connection to our students. We apologize for the lateness of the decision, but administrative adjustments delayed our annual budget review, and the position was only recently approved for hire. Professor Strode will handle your course load until September 21st, at which point you will take over classes. We will provide temporary housing for you during the speedy transition, but need your answer as soon as possible. Your offer letter is enclosed. Please sign and return it at your earliest convenience. Your earliest convenience.
Yep.
Was there anything by the front door?
Barb, by the time you get this, we'll be on our way home, so don't write me back here. It's hard to believe this summer's almost over. So much has happened. The show, getting used to life up here, painting more than I have in years, losing Grandma Joe, figuring out where Dan and I are. Part of me doesn't want to leave, but I know it's time. They say you can't go home again. I think I know what that means now. I don't have it in me to explain everything here, but things will never be the same. I don't even know what home I'm going back to. The only thing I do know is that I'm ready to start painting again. For real, like I did before Tommy. I'm scared and excited and nervous all at the same time. I just wish I knew how we were going to make it work. I hope this finds you well. Yours, Linda.
Ba-da-da.
Linda, I'm pleased to meet you. Well, by letter anyway. I'm surprised we've never met, considering how small the art community is. But from your letter, it sounds like you may not have been as active as you have liked for a few years. Regardless, I'm very excited to tell you more about our work here. At a high level, the program is simple. We're a collective of artists who use our work for the betterment of our community.
City. Not even like...
We host fundraiser galleries, donate our work to charity auctions, and teach art classes. We offer both paid and unpaid courses, and all proceeds from the paid courses go to local charities, usually the food bank. Our free courses are part of a pioneer program we've recently started, where we provide a safe place for victims of violence, members of our local AA chapter, and even parolees, thank you, trying to get back on their feet. The program is still in its early stages, but we've been very pleased with the results. It's a very exciting time. Anyway, you'll find more details in the enclosed information packet. I'd love to talk to you about joining in person when we return to Laurelton. So that sounds like an unpaid volunteer position, not a paid job.
Oh, Christ.
The 7 o'clock idea was dead before it even got started. Dan was pretty adamant that he just can't make the time with his writing schedule, and if we pushed it any later, Tommy would have been wiped out. I guess we'll just keep playing it by ear each night, but that makes it so hard to count on any quality time. Maybe it's a small thing, but I'm worried it'll chip away at us over time. I could even go full-time if...
You can say it. If I got a real job.
Full-time what, Linda? Please be happy, please be happy, please be happy. Nice. Nice. Just need to see that drawing.
You'd make new ones, buddy.
What about my friends? What about my friends?
Friends. Oh god, no.
Paul, there were days when I thought this moment would never come. When I finish writing this, I'm going to pack everything up and drop the manuscript in the mail. My palms are sweating just thinking about letting it go. I had no idea how hard it would be to finish this one. It took everything I had, and it's hard to look back over the summer without laughing. To think the plan was to get away from everything and just focus on the book. But you can't get away from yourself. Life doesn't give a damn about geography. I don't know when you'll get this or where we'll be when you do, or what you'll think. I know what I think, but objectivity left the building months ago. Some days I think this is the one. Other days I have a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach that says my career is over. All I can do is drop this in the mail and hope. Here goes.
How long's the drive?
2 hours. We'd have to move.
That's fine. Mom wants to be frivolous and ignore her child while she goes and paints. Like, they can move.
Can you be a full-time painter in a place that is 2 hours away? No. Oh, Christ.
The new schedule isn't as bad as it could have been. At least I'm getting 2 blocks of quiet time every day, though of course they're not as long as I wish they could be. And the sound of those doors closing is my favorite thing to hear these days. It's almost Pavlovian how that doorknob clicking shut puts me into a writing space. I'm not crazy enough to think there's anything mystical going on, but there's something to be said for developing a habit. Okay.
I think we should prioritize Dan. I think that's the right move.
This could be it. An associate professorship at Hardesty? It's entry level, sure, but everyone has to start somewhere, and it's the perfect situation for writing. The sabbatical program alone makes the job worth it, and the thought of actually working with Professor May? Wait, I guess I'd be calling him Philip now. That'll take some getting used to. But moving's a big step. I can't imagine a new school with new kids would be easy for Tommy. I know staying in Laurenton would be better for him and Linda, but they aren't handing out professorships on the corner. This isn't the kind of offer you pass up without a very good reason. But I might have 2 good reasons. Tried to sleep on it last night. What a joke. You have to be able to sleep for that to work. Okay?
It is not unheard of for parents to move.
I just talked things over with Dan, and we really have some serious thinking to do. The job at Hardesty sounds like a great opportunity for him, but moving would be so hard on us. I really want to join Art for All, and after everything we've been through with Tommy, it would be better for him to have some stability. I could even go full-time if Dan found a steady job, though I know he can't do that if he takes on extra tutoring with Tommy, and I'd never fault him for that. If we stay in Laurenton and Dan works with Tommy, I could still do the program part-time. Either way, it'd be better for Tommy and me than moving. But I know that professorship would mean so much to Dan. Can't everything be simple just once?
She's acting like a professorship isn't... What?
Exactly what she's asking him to do.
Find a steady job, but not a professorship.
Find a
you
steady
weirdo.
job, but not this one.
Hey, Linda, suck it. You get nothing. I'm glad I read that. Eat a whole bag of peni, Linda. Oh, no notes.
Is there anything in the kid's bedroom?
Kid.
Oh, his backpack.
Right. That's the... I don't think there's a compromise. Yeah. That's fine. What was the compromise going to be with the backpack anyway, really?
Wait, is there something on the desk? I saw something. No, the desk in the writing room. No, it was just glowing like it looked brighter than it was.
Why should
Dan agonized over the decision, but in the end he couldn't pass up the opportunity to take a professorship. A job with a steady paycheck that revolved around his craft gave him hope that writing could finally become his future, that he could devote his professional life to it and make his dreams a reality. He signed and mailed the offer letter the next morning. While Linda understood why Dan had accepted the position at Hardesty, it did nothing to ease her disappointment over leaving Laurenton. Blairstown had no programs like Art for All, but she refused to give up on her painting, and she put on a successful gallery in November. Her only regret was the feeling that she'd had to do it on her own, that her husband didn't truly support her career. Oh, like, you don't support his. So, like, you know. Tommy didn't handle the relocation well. His first year of school had been hard enough, but being a stranger on his first day of the new year, surrounded by children who already knew each other, was even harder. It took him months to adjust, and he never understood why they'd had to move and start over. And that's how the Kaplan's summer in the house on the cliff came to an end. It was much more than just a single season on the coast. Dan's choices there would come to define the rest of his life. Paul was floored when he got Dan's final draft. Grovefield literally stopped the presses on other books to meet demand for Dan's, and that November he won the National Book Award. His career took off, and after almost a dozen more novels, he retired as one of the most respected authors in American literature. He never forgot that summer, the summer he found his muse. Holy fuck, Dan. Things between Dan and Linda were never quite bad enough for a divorce, but their relationship was devoid of joy. They settled into a loveless arrangement, privately pitied by their friends. Both of them stepped outside of the marriage in moments of weakness, quietly resenting one another.
Outside of the marriage, you should just divorce.
And by summer's end, Tommy was a new child. He returned to school full of joy and became one of the most popular kids in his class, though unlike most of the cool kids, he remained friendly and grounded. By high school, he began getting national attention for his drawing ability, and after going to one of the most prestigious art schools in America, he became an award-winning graphic novelist beloved by his friends and family alike. So there was no good ending for Linda. Like, that to me sounds like an incredible ending for 2 out of 3 people. Dan would look back on that summer from time to time and wonder why he had made the choices he had. He never quite shook the feeling that the voice in his head had been more than just a voice, and in quiet moments he even imagined that he had been a character in someone else's novel.
The times he was almost sure of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the raccoon ghost.
Oof.
Tynan Wales is why he named it.
Yeah.
Of worthless moan, a ship on which we're all a-stowing, a tattered hand in need of sewing.
I really enjoyed the weird like diaries from the past. That was cool, but I wish I got like the endings to them. Because Robert definitely died in a car, and
His name was Roger?
Roger.
Thank you.
Thank you. Roger died. And the Journal of Hay, whatever, died. Like she definitely jumped off a cliff.
To show my fate to you. To you. To you.
Yeah, Linda be gone. That was something.
Heck of a thing.
That was something.